Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City. Let's give a round for DJ City in the building. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We got DJ Never.
Yo, what up?
We got DJ D Miles.
What's good? What's good?
We got Jamie the Great.
Yep.
And we got one of my favorite DJs who's been around for a minute. She's one of the first women DJs I remember who was killing it out here in Vegas and going on tours and going on, all over the country. She was on a Red Bull tour. Yep. She was on Master the Mix. She is the founder and owner of Camp Spinoff, like teaching little kids how to spin and shit. Welcome to Tina T. What's good?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Teaching the kids to take our jobs.
Yeah.
Why? Okay.
They get older. No, I'm joking.
That's what my mom says. She says, you're just teaching your competition.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, Mom.
So where you been at?
I've been all over.
Yeah?
Like, literally
I haven't
the other
seen
side
you in
of the
Vegas,
world.
though. You used to be in Marquee. You did, when Pure was open, you did Range, Studio 54, Lavo. And then you kind of like, I don't know if you went corporate or you I don't know what you were doing. Someone said you were like selling houses. You were like flipping houses or some shit like that.
That amongst many other things, yeah. I mean, I came here in 2008, had been working and saving forever, didn't do anything with it. And the timing was perfect during the crash to invest in real estate. So it's worked out well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what you did. So you bought low.
That's
How many
dope.
properties do you have, if you don't mind me asking?
6.
6 properties?
good.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Are they all homes or like you have
They're all homes, like
Okay.
4-bedroom homes.
You don't want to even rent shit out now. You can make more money off of Airbnb, right?
Well, Airbnb is not legal, so there's kind of
In Vegas, or it's just everywhere it's not legal?
some cities are legal, but most are not. Most people just don't realize that. Like none of the guests
yeah, like
ever
I never
know.
even heard. How is that even possible, or how does it work?
It's just a matter of your neighbors complaining, I guess, if you have a good relationship with your neighbors. But the city, like we're in Vegas, so the resorts are investing a lot of money to shut it down. As you can imagine, they're losing money, just the same way that Uber was against the mafia.
Because the mafia was running like a lot of the taxis.
Cabs.
The taxi cabs in Vegas.
Yeah.
So like I remember Uber was here in Vegas for like a month or something.
And they got rid of it.
And they got rid of it because
Cabs are losing money.
no, taxi cab companies or mob dudes were ordering Ubers and then pulling the drivers out and beating the shit out of them.
No way.
Yeah.
And that's still happening in other countries, like Malaysia and Bali. Like they're in a fight with the cab companies, and they'll literally get out of their cars and fight each other in the airport. Yeah.
Yo, it's fucking insane.
Recently, when my friends or family come in town, or just anybody I meet, I'll be like, "Hey, where you staying?" And Airbnb has been a lot more prevalent lately.
I know
like,
mad people do Airbnb.
Yeah.
They make a
Yeah.
shit ton of money off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making like probably average like anywhere from 90 to 150 a night.
Yeah.
And then like when EDC comes into town, they charge like 300,
Yeah.
right?
The hotel's
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
be feeling that, right?
But it's kind of worth it if it's a house.
Huh?
It's worth it more if it's a house, a
I
full
know.
bedroom house.
This is
300.
Great DJ talk we're talking about.
Hey.
All right, Tina.
Invest your money.
What do you
wisely.
want to talk about? There's a lot to talk about with you.
What do you want to
You want to talk
start?
about this pyramid scheme you got called Camp Spinoff? I mean, you're trying to make it about the kids, but we know you must be making like what millions and millions of dollars on the
Honestly,
side.
On the side and shit.
I've never made a penny. It's like working a full-time job, and I've literally never made a penny. But that's not why I do it. And it's not little kids. It's actually teens.
She just pulled up in like a Beamer, right?
Yeah.
You had a Lambo truck.
They're like, yo, there's a Phantom waiting for you guys in the front. Like, what the fuck?
I swear to God, I'm not lying. There are group chats where we're talking about Camp Spinoff, and we think you're making a shit ton of money.
You're
off of
balling
these kids,
out of
yo.
control.
Yeah, you're balling out of control. Yeah.
Some people
And
think
like
me
you do-
asking for donations goes straight into my pocket.
Yeah.
That's
Hey.
horrible. Why would people think that?
I mean,
Yeah.
It happens.
I
People
know.
do that. But
I know.
Not saying you
speaking
doing it, but
of donations, did Chris Villa get paid yet?
We don't
From-
know.
I know
DJ
you got to
Conflict?
find out.
Wait,
Right?
yeah, I have not heard anything.
Did
I
he
haven't
get
seen
paid?
no post.
I haven't seen no post. I haven't seen anything.
I don't know.
Or tweet. Because Twitter's what they were going, like, they were talking about that money shit.
Conflict just redid his kitchen.
And he got a new hairdo.
Conflict probably hates me right now.
He's probably like,
Conflict got a new kitchen. He got one of those the sinks
And-
you don't need to touch the shit. Like you just
Yeah.
wave your hand on the sink, and
He
the
got
water
a,
just
he
flows
got a
out.
Tesla.
oh, he did get a Tesla.
Oh, shit, for real?
No, I'm just playing.
I was like, really? Like the new SUV with the doors that come up?
With the butterfly doors? Nah.
No, I'm just playing.
We're
man.
just joking around. Just a
I'm
compliment.
sure Chris Pierre got paid. But
I
back
hope
to
so.
stealing money from people. So like,
Back
all right. So you obviously love kids, right?
Yeah, I do.
So you were telling me earlier that you're a foster parent.
Yeah, I became a foster parent in 2016.
What is that? How do you do that?
You start by just going to your local city website, and there's info sessions every week. So you start there, and then you go through 8 weeks of parenting classes that are these 3-hour classes, and then you go through background checks and fingerprinting and friend referrals and home inspections and all that. So the whole process, when I did it before, it took me about a year.
Yeah.
And then this time I just reopened my license again, and they've shortened it to like 2.5 months. So
So you had the kid for a year?
no, I had 4 kids over the course of a year, one at a time.
Okay.
And this was actually when I was still DJing. Like I had to obviously do a little bit less of the out-of-town gigs, but I was DJing in town. It was the first time I ever found myself at a gig at 2 in the morning where they said, "Can you stay an extra hour?" And I like had this moment where I was like,
My babysitter's leaving in 20 minutes.
like you hear about it, but I was like, I can't. My babysitter won't stay past 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and obviously I never got booked there again. And
Really?
I mean, it must be hard. Like, well, it's especially hard when you're like a single mom because babysitters are expensive,
Yeah.
like $200.
That's crazy.
A night?
Well, when you're out, you're out from like 9:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have
There's some single. Are there single mothers DJing out there?
I don't think.
I
Not
don't
that we
know.
know of.
I
feel like
really
that's
know.
not
I'm
like
trying
a-
to think. I'm not
I have
seeing
a new
them.
respect for single moms,
I
for
don't
sure.
think there
Especially
are.
if they're working full time during the day. You know, I have a flexible schedule, so I made it work.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Really
So
hard.
wait, you didn't have all 4 at once, right?
No, I had one at a time. I was
Pause.
licensed for girls ages 6 up to 18.
Throw my children here,
I know.
Cricket,
I
please.
just hear all 4 at once, and
Yes.
my mind goes in the.
Yes.
Well, how does that work? Like you have them for a couple of months, and then what's the next step for the child?
Well, you never know how long you're going to have them
Yeah.
because it depends. Like the court could say, you're going home today, or the judge could say, your parents are going to jail. And so there's just no way of knowing. The longest placement I had was a 17-year-old girl, and I had her for 6 months.
Wow. It's amazing.
And we're still friends. Like
that's
she
good.
just turned 21. I took her out for her birthday and
Oh,
took her to
shit.
Blue Martini and
Hey, listen.
Had martinis
You went on a
and-
Thursday with the hookah?
Yo. Thursdays at Blue Martini. Yo, we all went
Yo.
to Thursdays at. Yo, speaking of Blue Martini on Thursdays, yo,
I've been telling you. We've
Shout out to
been telling
Jason,
you.
Exile, Tommy Lynn.
I gotta say that's the
Is
best
that
party.
Latin
Arski. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Latin
Latin
night.
and then they do the hip hop on the
Yo,
patio.
I think that's the best party in Vegas
Arski.
right now. Yo,
On Thursdays,
so,
people
yeah.
are sleeping.
Yo, never.
Yeah.
You even think so?
I think so, yeah.
Yo, outdoors they got the
Tommy Lynn doing the hip hop.
Tommy Lynn doing hip
and
hop.
Arski.
And Arski doing the
Shout
MC work. Pause.
Tommy Lynn looks like the Asian dude.
Well,
that
they
I
have
don't
an
know.
ongoing joke amongst each other, and they call him the substitute teacher because he dresses like a substitute
Yeah, he looks
teacher.
like a substitute teacher.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the ongoing joke for Tommy Lynn.
Yeah, but that party's yo.
But
if
he
y'all
gets
want-
he gets it cracking.
Yeah, he was doing his thing, and then the main room they got Latin.
Yeah.
And Exile be doing this thing, and they got like this dude who does congos.
Gil Barber.
Gil, yeah. So yeah, I'm telling you that party. I would if you haven't gone to that Thursday at
Look,
Blue
listen,
Martini in
free
Vegas.
parking.
Yo, it was like 4 o'clock.
It
And
was
it was
cool.
still busy, and they closed. I was like,
And Crooked,
I
you
haven't
were like,
seen
when's the
that.
last time we've been out at a Vegas
I haven't,
club?
I haven't
at
been
4
to a
in the
Vegas
morning?
club where at 4 o'clock it was still packed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it could have kept going.
You get the
Yeah.
hookah going that's for $25. This is amazing.
That
I don't
hookah
know,
creeps
man.
up on you.
Y'all
too.
motherfuckers on the strip doing something wrong, yo.
Yeah,
They
I'll
kill
tell
it.
that.
I'm telling you right
that shit
now.
is packed out, and the line goes all the way to the AMC theater sometimes.
Anyway, I don't want to suck those guys' dicks too much, but like
Okay.
big shout out to those guys. They doing their thing. That party is fucking dope.
Yeah.
But so you took your
Daughter.
I don't know what to
Your
call it.
foster.
Your foster
Is it
daughter?
foster
We're
kid?
bouncing from subject.
know.
It's just funny.
I know.
She was I had her when she was 17. She turned 18
I
with
had her
me.
when she was 17.
I know, it's weird.
All right, why do you want to do this?
Well, I'm always just looking for ways to make my life more difficult.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Is that what really is?
No, I have this.
Okay, I was like-
we all have a bucket list, right? And on my bucket list is I want to experience being a parent. I don't think I necessarily need it to like come from my body, but I also have zero control over meeting the right person or when I'll have kids. So it was just kind of like my life hack to having kids. Like I can do it now.
Yeah.
Is there also a fear to have your own kid? So you were like, let me try it out this way?
See how it works.
Not a fear of parenting a kid. It's more of for me personally, it's like, and I think there's a term for this where you have a fear of giving birth. Like, can you imagine pushing out like a watermelon size? It just freaks me out to think about it.
I don't think all babies are watermelon size. Unless like
Most.
You were definitely.
I was a watermelon size. I was going to say that. But I don't think that everybody comes out like me, Tina. You'll be okay.
I don't know. I don't think it requires, to be a mom, to be a parent. I don't think it has to come from me.
So you don't want to go through that whole process of carrying a kid for 9 months?
I mean, I'm okay without it.
Now that I think about it, I don't even think I know any female or women DJs that have kids.
I do.
I do.
You do?
I do.
I
a
do.
couple.
Not many.
I don't know any.
But yeah.
What's it? That shorty Wendy?
Yeah.
I forgot her name.
Wendy Cakes?
Wendy Cakes.
I don't think I know. Wait.
She was like a go-go dancer in San Diego at Stingery.
Yeah.
And then she started DJing. Yeah.
She got like 3 kids now. She's
She
still
got 3
DJing.
kids.
Yeah.
God damn. I know she still DJs.
Yeah.
Like does corporate shit. But all right, so I was thinking you did it because it was like your love of kids.
No.
She's like, it's a bucket list. No, she has love for kids. Come on, guys.
I
Just
do
trying to
love
clean up-
kids,
yeah,
but
trying
it's
to-
not usually the first thing. Like when I started the summer camp, it was more the love of DJing, the love of summer camp, and then kids were like the default. Like originally it started as, when they have those DJ conferences for the radio. Because I think I was talking to DJ Revolution, and he was on the radio, and they pay to send them to Jamaica, and then they like spoil them with hookers and performances and all that, So I was like, wow, that'd be so cool if they did something like that, but at a summer camp.
Yeah.
But no hookers.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But like an adult, and then I thought,
That sounds like.
well, that won't be fun because it'll just be like a shit show of people drinking and, turn into like a festival. So then I thought, well, maybe we make it a kids' summer camp, and it just kind of evolved into teaching that next generation.
So did you do the Foster shit before the camp spinoff?
After. I started Camp Spinoff in 2010.
In 2010?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a long
Yeah,
time.
it's been a
I didn't know it
minute,
had been
yeah.
that long.
Yeah.
I knew it was a while from that.
So what made you so you didn't know shit about kids, but you wanted to do this?
Okay, I have a quick question.
Weird.
Walk us through? You pick up the kid. What's the icebreaker? What do you take
It
them?
doesn't even make sense.
I'm trying to figure out like what do you?
icebreaker.
Yeah, like what do you do? Like you take them? I don't know, McDonald's, or you take them to dinner. What do you like to? That's what I'm trying to
McDonald's
say.
is the icebreaker?
I
Tina
don't
T,
know.
let us explain
Explain
something.
to us.
I'm realizing, yes, welcome to my weird world.
No,
It
it's
is
not weird. It's pretty interesting. to say
So,
the least.
when you pick up the kids, they actually show up with
Okay,
literally.
where do you pick them up at? Like
There's
Cord?
this place downtown
Okay.
in Las Vegas called Child Haven, but
Okay.
it's like institutionalized living.
Wait, we're
There's-
talking about spinoff or
No, we're talking about
the
foster.
foster.
bouncing around.
Get it together here, Cricket. Fine.
Okay, we're talking about foster care.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get a call from someone at placement, and they're like, "Hey, we have this awesome 10-year-old girl, and she needs a home." And I'm like, "Okay."
You make it
sounds-
sound like Uber.
Well, their placement workers are like used car salesmen.
Okay.
That's their job. They're like, we see you're only licensed for 1, but we have a sibling group of 3. We can change it. They're like that. So I'm like, cool, I'll come down there. Go down to Child Haven, which is actually double barbed wire like a prison.
Wow.
It's actually like now illegal. So anyways, I'll get
Wow.
to that later. But go down there, meet the kid, pick them up. So they leave with literally a garbage bag.
Damn.
Because they don't have anything. So the
Yeah.
first thing you do when you bring a kid home is we go to Target or Walmart, we get underwear, socks. They don't have anything.
So shopping spree off the
school,
rip.
school supplies, all that stuff. That's like step number 1. And the kids are cool. Yeah, there was one time where a girl cried the whole way in the car.
Wow.
And the ice didn't break. We went, got all the clothes and everything. And then when we came home, my 2 dogs, she was sitting on the couch, and she did not break a smile once. I felt so bad. My dogs jumped up on her, and she immediately starts this huge smile, laughing, playing with the dogs, and then it was broken, and we were good. So
Okay.
So you never meet them before that moment, like.
no, you pretty much have to agree to it. When you go down there, you're going, because they don't want you shopping for kids. And you don't
Right.
want to meet a
Yeah.
kid and leave without him, because then they feel like, what did they do wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't understand why you're doing this.
She wanted to be a parent, but
it's
not
just-
necessarily do it by her, like have herself. She just wanted to, experience the.
I don't
He's still not
understand.
getting
I don't get it.
No, here's the
I
thing.
don't get
Here's the
it.
thing. I thought that when you get a foster kid, that you take care of it from the young
baby.
age until like they're like
18 or
adults and
whatnot.
ready to
Yeah.
leave the house.
So the goal of a foster parent is to reunite the kids with their biological family as long as it's safe.
Oh, okay.
So you do have to give them back to sometimes a family that you might not agree with, but you also really have to not judge.
So you really can't get attached to the kids.
You're like purgatory.
Pretty
A
much.
little
Yeah,
bit, right?
that is the hard part because they do go home, but that's fostering. I'm not adopting.
Oh, I see.
Adopting
Oh,
is like
okay.
where you want to keep the
Yeah.
kid forever. Fostering is, I literally just want their their experience in foster care to not be traumatizing. They can look back and be like, yeah, I was in foster care, but I met Miss Tina and she's this cool DJ and we got to have fun. Like that's the way I want them to look at their experience. And a lot of kids have really horrible stories from foster care. So
Yeah.
if I can be that one like good thing, then that's kind of why I do
That's
it.
cool. I
That's
like
crazy.
That's amazing.
Do you agree with not being able to meet the kids beforehand?
Well, I ask a lot of questions. I have a list of questions. I ask what kind of medications they're taking. Based on that, I know what kinds of,
Oh, like
You know.
behavioral and kind of like based off their medication.
yeah, and I can say, do they have any violence against animals? But it's funny because my whole checklist, I kind of went out the window because I said I don't want kids with like suicide attempts. I don't want kids on manic,
Many depressives.
manic depression is fine, but there's certain drugs where like they might be standing over your bed at night with a knife, like that kind of drugs I look out for, like schizophrenia, some things. But then later, I got into teenagers and they came with all of that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, just bring it
What is the main thing that you've noticed that's been a pattern
in.
and with all of these kids?
Like with their parent situation and
Well,
Yeah.
I learned a lot about the cycle of poverty.
Yeah.
Because we hear about it on the news, but I don't know if I never grew up in that kind of cycle and I didn't really understand, and I still don't understand how we can break it, but I do understand that it goes really, really deep and it's psychological. And it's not just like, here, we'll give you a scholarship to college, we'll break the cycle of poverty. No, it's really mentally deep.
And it
you're-
gets
you're
passed down
raised.
generation to generation to generation.
Yes.
Right.
So most of the kids I've been around, breaking that pattern just seems, I don't know, still in the middle of it. I'm about to start taking more placements, and I'm sure I'll learn. And that's the fun thing is I just learn a ton. And it's cool to do something that's not, as DJs, we do everything. We market ourselves. We're promo. We're constantly about us.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to just have something where like you literally can't focus on anything but this little human that you're responsible for their life. And I guarantee if any of you guys had a kid placed in your home and you're responsible for them, you would stand up to the challenge for sure. You can't not.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always wanted to adopt, actually. I never
Yeah.
thought about fostering.
I,
Why is that funny?
well, I really like being able to talk about
I can't
it.
picture being
Because
Jesus.
I think a lot of people don't think they could do it, and I like to think that, hey, if I can do it,
Yeah.
you guys can all definitely do it.
I don't know.
Cricket, you can't see me fostering a kid.
Huh?
You can't see me adopting a kid.
I could. I just have a lot of shit going on, but that's why
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why.
I think Cricket would be.
I'm
a good
wondering, like,
dad.
do you want your own kids though, or you don't like the process of the whole pregnancy process?
No, it's not that. I just don't have any control over meeting the right person. So if I don't meet the right person, I'm not going to have kids on my own, and I might. Who knows when I could meet the right person? So I just don't
Right.
want to wait until I'm.
not get the experiences with.
Yeah. So I had definitely had to sacrifice things. I told my manager I can only go out of town one weekend a month. And, that was it. So for that year, but when I had my teenager, she would travel with me to gigs. I put her on my Southwest companion pass. She was in the lounges. She was loving it. And she would just like watch movies in the hotel room. I mean, what teenager doesn't love that?
And just
That's cool.
call room service.
Yeah,
That bill was crazy, I bet.
I would like
Your
that.
pizza
That
and
would
ice
be
cream.
fun.
That sounds incredible. Was there one kid that you got that had a story that like just fucked you up in the head?
Yeah.
Do you want to share that or no?
Yeah, I can really. Let me broadly. So, I had a girl that had multiple sexual abuse from different men, and
Like
when
in her family and shit, or
people that her mom would date.
Wow.
Her mom
Okay.
had a really bad pattern of dating these men that would come in and abuse all of her kids. So it didn't become real or emotional until one night we're in the kitchen eating dinner, and she just lays it all out of
Wow.
details of everything that happened. And it was the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do, to like not cry and keep a straight face so that she didn't see me like freaking out. But when she went to bed that night, I just like broke down. I had to call her therapist and like figure out like, okay, how do you, that just made it like a whole new level. Cause now you're like, I need to protect this girl, you know? And then her dad wanted to like come, there was all kinds of drama, but that was like very significant for me.
How old was she?
She was only 10.
She's only 10?
God damn.
Jesus Christ.
The stories of the kids, honestly, I watch a lot of really messed up movies. It's like, and these stories of kids in Child Haven, I could never even think up. It's so crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sad that our reality is actually much, much worse than movies.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ. I mean,
So anyways, I encourage everybody to look into it.
Sorry,
There's
Damn.
a huge need out there, and I just like really want to encourage other people to look into it. Don't be afraid.
DJs are too selfish to do that shit.
I don't. That's
I don't
not
think
true.
they're too selfish.
No.
I don't
I
think.
think yeah.
To not travel, to get that travel money, and then turn down gigs.
I mean,
to take care of
it's
a
for.
foster
Or it
kid.
depends. You know,
I mean,
how long.
look, I would love to be a foster kid. I mean, I'm a foster parent,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it's a
I'm
lot
kind
of
of
work.
your foster child.
No, you're not.
Yes, he is.
When is my 2 months over? I want my 2 months
You in it
over.
for you in it for the long run, man.
It's been like a year now. Jesus.
But that's kind of my gripe a little bit about DJing, is that we do sacrifice everything. We sacrifice having a personal life. We sacrifice time with friends and family, relationships, just regular things. We sacrifice everything to do that road grind,
Yeah.
hustle. And so
But it's not that bad. It's not like we're coal mining or anything, you know?
no, it could always be
I
worse.
mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's worse shit to do out there.
No, I mean, it's a great life, which is why we do it for so long and don't even like think twice about it. But when you step back and reflect on it, it's kind of like, yeah, I haven't really pursued anything for me personally and my personal life outside of DJing for over 10 years.
So when you started Camp Spinoff, right? And obviously you did the foster care thing in like 2016. Did you, when you, after 6 years of doing Camp Spinoff, did you feel inside like you were just curious about yourself and how you would be as a parent, and you just wanted to do this? I'm still trying to like put together the pieces.
Here's what I think you're trying to get at.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was fostering a dog.
Okay.
This is actually what led to it. I was fostering a dog for the Animal Foundation. I had this dog for like 8 months. Nobody wanted this dog. So when I eventually found him a home, it felt so great. He has this amazing family. And I thought to myself, if I just spent 8 months of time and energy into a dog, then, why don't I step it up to humans? There's humans. I value human life more, and there's a huge need. And so then that kind of like led into that curiosity of like, if I have the patience and the willingness to do this with a dog, then I think that I might be able to actually.
Yeah.
And then it just became a challenge. Like, well, is the city actually going to give me a kid, a DJ? At the time I had dreadlocks. Like, it just didn't seem like on paper they would even.
You had dreadlocks?
I had dreadlocks for 2 years.
I remember that. I
2
remember when she
years,
had
yeah.
dreads.
They got
Yeah?
so long
Yeah.
and heavy that I just couldn't hang anymore.
And then you just chopped it all off. I
Tina,
remember.
that must have been a weird time. You had dreadlocks.
It worked for her though.
Whenever
I
someone,
don't
when a white-
remember this.
when a white person has dreadlocks, that's a weird time.
I mean,
no?
I did them. I did them naturally, though. I was really big on wanting them to be natural. So
But you met your Asian also, right?
I'm half Chinese,
Half-
which makes it even harder for my hair to dread. But
What do you have to? You got to put.
You just gotta like not. I don't know. How
No,
what's
there's
the
an
process?
oil. There's a paste you have to
Oh, like
put
the
in
beeswax?
there.
you don't
Beeswax,
have to.
right?
No, I didn't use that. I didn't use anything.
Aloe
You just
vera?
didn't wash your hair.
No, I took pieces and I like back combed it and I knotted it all up and then spun it in my palms,
So do
like
you-
palm rolled it, and then I just waited. It just over time. I mean, even dogs can have dreadlocks. Over
Yeah.
time, if your hair's knotted, it'll tighten, and you can do it naturally. So
Do you sleep with your dogs? Mm-hmm. Did the dog's hair get twisted into your dreadlocks?
no.
No, it's not a fucking poison ivy.
No, because
Fine.
there was a son,
Come on.
there was a chick that I knew that had dreadlocks, and she had mad cats, and then the cat hair got like mixed into her dreadlocks, and I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah.
So every time her dreadlocks would touch me, I would break out.
Almost dying.
Yeah. That's
Tough
what I was
time.
just wondering.
Tough time.
No, I just thought it was weird with the dreadlocks. It's a weird thing. So, all right, so, I mean, you got a big heart. I mean, you're doing this shit.
But I get a lot out of it. I guess you were talking about like why, and I do get something out of it. I really feel like when you're doing stuff for others without expectations, that's the key. Because some people are like, "Ooh, I'm gonna do this and do that because it's gonna come back to me," or they volunteer for the wrong reasons. But when you're genuinely doing things for other people without expectations, it can benefit you a lot.
Yeah.
In ways
Yeah,
that you just
definitely,
don't think about, but it kind of all comes around.
I mean, it's a big heart.
It's definitely.
I just didn't expect that from, a money launderer like yourself who started this camp spinoff thing.
The pyramid.
I want to talk about camp spinoff a little bit more, but I do want to talk about you as a DJ. You coming up. I remember you coming up with AM and Stevie Aoki at their what was their Sunday party?
Banana split.
Banana
yeah.
Split, right? Yeah. And I think you were like, you were kind of like AM's little protege. You kind of looked at him as a mentor a little bit, right?
Definitely.
And you used to do that party with D Mike B, right?
Yeah.
And Fashion would be there every so often. That was a great era. That was a great time, right?
That was like the Studio 54 of our time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice to put it that way. That's not. So, I mean, tell us about that. Because we were looking in your bio. You're from Seattle. You made your way to LA. You ended up working at BPM Magazine. And that's, I guess, how you linked up with Stevie Aoki and AM. And you were DJing. Were you DJing in LA or?
Yeah. So I started DJing when I was 15 in high school. And then when I got left to college, I DJed all through college. But I was just a turntablist. So I started out on the battle scene. When I got to college, I literally had one turntable on a shelf above the other because there was no room. And then I was cutting, and a DJ had walked by my dorm room and heard me scratching and knocked on the door. He's like, "You can cut really well, but can you mix?" I'm like, "No."
What's mixing?
Yeah.
So he go to college
there was like a club, not a nightclub, but like a school club for like a DJ club. And he's like, "You should come do it. It's like a open turntables DJ club." And I'm like, "Sweet." And then I just train wrecked, and it was like people in the back doing homework, and they hear like like everyone just looks up at me, and it was mortifying. So it encouraged me to start learning how to mix.
So wait, you learned to scratch at 15, like 15, right?
Yeah.
What made you want to be a DJ?
So my sister would bring me to her friend's house. I was like the tag along because I didn't have my driver's license.
Your
And-
older sister.
Yeah, older sister. We go to a friend's house. He's got turntables set up. And I'm like, "Ooh, what's this?" And he's like, "Here, I'll show you how to turn it on. Here's a crate of records. Have fun." And then they would just ditch me and go smoke pot or whatever they did.
Yeah.
But I was like, perfect. Now I have something to do. So I went there every day and started just messing around. And his cousin was DJ Tecumseh back in the day in Seattle. He was a battle DJ. He's like, "I'm going to take you to see my cousin." So he brought me to a DJ battle. And then I was like, what? I didn't know there was a culture. I didn't know there was a scene or competitions or anything. And then met some of the DJs at the battle. They invited me to come practice and never stopped. So then I started entering battles, went to college, started learning how to mix. There was a club DJ that I started kind of following around, and he'd be in the DJ booth and he'd say, see that group of girls back there? I'm going to play this song and make them to come to the front, and this group of white people, they're going to go to the bar. And then he would do it, and everything would happen. So I started learning how to work rooms.
What song was that?
I don't remember. I do remember the first song I played, though, that got the whole crowd to bum rush the dance floor. It was Mary J. Blige, Family Affair.
2000.
Big record.
2001.
No hateration.
Did you go to college in Seattle as well?
I went to Washington State University.
Upstate.
But that first feeling of seeing, that feeling of, I don't know if you guys remember that first song where everyone like freaked out.
Yeah.
But it's like, and that was like a drug. So then it just became a mission to find songs that had,
To keep doing
Of course,
it. Keep
yeah.
trial and error, like this one's not working, and it's different every night. So it was that puzzle just never ends. So.
Which aspect do you enjoy now, after all this time? Do you like the cutting or do you like the actual party rocking?
I love the party rocking more, I guess, because
It's interactive.
it's just
more?
like the energy, and it's a party. Battles are so tense, There's no dancing. There's just spotlights, judges, 3, 2, 1, and then you do the routine you've been practicing for months in your bedroom by yourself. So It's like,
Sounds sad.
well, it's fun. I actually just went to the DMC here in Vegas. I don't think
On
Yeah,
Thursday,
yeah,
it's good,
yeah.
right?
it was cool. You guys went?
Well, no, we
No,
didn't
we
go.
didn't make it.
We should have went, but
Why?
we're like tired and shit.
Yeah, we had a long week
had a long
promoting
week.
and working on this YouTube that you can finally find all these episodes on.
What a segue.
It would have been such a good topic because DMC is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
DMC back in the day when I first started was like, oh my God, DMC, you buy the
That was
tapes.
like the holy grail, right?
Yeah, and so it was disappointing. I mean, I still love that they're keeping it alive.
Why
but
was it disappointing?
just the level of talent wasn't there.
Really?
Wasn't, no.
Was there any
'Cause the
familiar names?
The scene in general is, the turntablist scene and the battle scene has just died off. So there aren't as
Really?
many.
I think it's become more.
Well, you have Red Bull 3 style and you have these other battles, but that's not the same as DMC.
Yeah, I just
Totally
think that
different format.
maybe the brand of DMC has gone down a
Maybe.
little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, definitely.
I
yeah.
haven't really figured out why. I
Yeah.
just kind of noticed it. And maybe there will be like a revival. Maybe it'll come back,
I think just the emergence of 3-style kind of just took over that lane, right?
Because people, I think a lot of the battle DJs that maybe were doing DMC are now doing these. Because Red Bull 3 style is more of a party rock and
Yeah.
creativity battle set. DMC is just straight technicalities.
Yeah, maybe just needs a rebranding.
So 3 style is much more fun for people to come watch. But if you don't know anything about DJing and you watch the DMC, it's much harder.
They just need a
for
new
you.
face, though. If they had like Jazzy Jeff or someone big, like, hosting or like creating or like curating the competition, it could be out there.
DMC
Yeah.
is like the MySpace, and then Facebook came, which was 3-style, and then everyone just jumped on that. And it's huge now. And it's like, how do you rebrand? Like, remember MySpace tried to rebrand, and it was just like,
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was a whack.
I mean,
feel like-
DMC, they picked all the right people in Vegas to make it happen. They had Presto One hosting.
Yeah, shout to Presto.
Yeah, he did a great job. Spare was playing the perfect
Oh,
vibe.
shout to Spare. Spare's
Yeah.
nasty.
I saw-
Kiddo Money
forget
was
that.
there working on it too.
But
so
they were like hosting. They weren't competing, right?
they weren't competing. I mean, if they did, it would have been better. But so
Jesus Christ.
they have all the
Yo,
right.
Christian, did you know about this competition? Christian's our intern.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do it?
Why didn't
He's
you
a
force
DJ
them to
also.
go?
A lot of people told me to do it,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm into 3-style. I'm not into like.
Oh.
You see?
Oh, you're too good for DMC?
It's too good.
Wow.
I think
wow.
I think DMC
Motherfucker
can
like
be.
that?
It's like that, Christian?
Feeling himself, man.
Can't waste my time in that.
His reaction makes me think that I think DMC might be kind of intimidating for people.
No.
Because it is like this.
Is
other
it intimidating? No.
Maybe because like I'm still learning my scratches and stuff, but like I don't think I would just like.
Just be honest. It's not cool.
I didn't think like it would.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would benefit me.
Try to
like
clean
that.
it up.
I didn't think it would benefit me like that. I don't think someone's gonna like hire me for like scratching and shit.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is there's not really, I don't want to be like, well, I only now don't do it because the money's not there, but the money's definitely, you do it, I did it because it was fun forever,
But it was like a-
but then
like-
when I started doing clubs and making money, I didn't have time to sit in my bedroom and work on these scratch routines that produce zero.
Yeah, that too. But that was
So
like
you
a
think
badge
that's
of honor. What you won the DMC was a badge of honor back in the day, and that was the, oh shit, you went like you praise people like that.
Did you win the DMC?
Did you ever try the Red Bull at all?
I did a showcase for the Red Bull 3 style and I judged a Red Bull 3 style, but I didn't enter.
You judged which Red Bull
Arizona.
freestyle? Arizona?
I can't remember which year it was, but Chris Villa was in
Villa?
it.
Villa.
Villa, sorry.
The two L's are silent.
They're not silent. They're
Villa. It becomes a Y. But yeah, it does become a Y. He just looked at me like, really? Yes.
Well, do you
So
think-
you had Chris Villa.
Did
Yeah.
he win?
no. He was like second.
You voted against him?
No, he was dope. He's a
Okay.
great DJ.
He's an amazing DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who was the winner of the competition?
I can't
Do you
remember.
All right. So you were working at BPM Magazine.
Yes,
What were you doing there?
I was a marketing assistant. So I went to college for marketing. I was in LA for probably a year before I got that job. I was working at the Bungalow Club on Melrose as like an event person because I moved there and I didn't really have anything or know anyone. But I knew that if I just got there straight out of college, I could like network and eventually meet people.
Mm-hmm.
But I found myself doing like karaoke nights on Craigslist where I'd like bring all my equipment just to like, I felt like if I could just have people see me, then
So you
know,
went to LA with no gigs at all. You was just
No.
like something you wanted to do.
I just
Cold turkey.
packed up my Subaru Outback.
Wow.
It was like full of equipment with very little of my actual stuff. And then, I crashed on a friend's couch for a while because I didn't know where I was going to really live.
Mm-hmm.
And then my real first break was I heard BPM was hiring. And then I was like, but I had all the skills because they were doing a lot of parties. And I'm like, I DJ, so I can help look
great.
at people's tech writers. I can help do setup, sound check, all that stuff. Got it. And then Matt Cullen was my boss. Great boss. And then one day I was in the office and I heard AM's voice because he has a very deep, distinguishable voice.
Yeah.
And I like popped up in my cubicle and he's in my office, my boss's office. So I just start pacing back and forth in front of like the door until my boss finally is like, "Hey Tina, have you met AM?" And I'm like, "No, hi." And then he was like, "Yeah, Tina scratches and DJs," and then he invited me to come do Banana Split.
Wow.
To DJ or just to come through?
To DJ.
Wow.
Without even hearing you, huh? You just
I think he might have heard me at some point. I don't remember where or when. And then I met Steve Aoki, and he's like, "Do you want to come over and teach me some scratches?" And I'm like, "Sure, no problem."
Wow.
Yeah. So
There was a rumor going on about BPM Magazine
what's that?
that you could like literally pay to get your face on the cover
Oh.
because they were talking.
I mean, anyone can buy an ad.
No, I'm saying
No,
like
the
to
cover.
get
Be
the
on the
cover.
cover of the
Like you could
magazine.
just
That's
stay
not
for
an
the
ad.
cover.
I don't know about that.
Because there was a lot of shit going on when Steve Aoki made the front cover of BPM Magazine. Do you remember that?
I remember when he was on it, and Mickey Avalon was on it at that time too.
Yeah. Oh shit, Mickey Avalon.
Really?
And I remember, I don't know if this is bad to say, it's been so long ago, but I remember he got really mad because they had like photoshopped some of his scars and things on his body because he was shirtless on the cover. And he got like super pissed about that.
Who? Steve Aoki?
No,
Mickey
Mickey
Avalon.
Avalon.
Oh, Mickey Avalon. He had that song, "My Dick," right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pause.
It's like dyslexic speed readers is his crew. That's Jane Fonda.
No.
Oh, no, you're right. That's, yeah,
No.
They
Oh my
kind of have
God,
a similar
Jane
beat,
Fonda.
right?
kind of.
They have a similar beat, the Jane Fonda.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you remember that, right? When everyone was like, "What the hell is Stevie Aoki doing on the cover?" It just came out of nowhere.
It was, if you think back though, it was so on point because he was, I think it was like the poster boy of hipster, something like that.
Is it electronic? Or?
Yeah, he was like I mean,
What
if
year
we
was this?
think back, he really was like leading that movement.
Yeah.
So it was probably 2007 around there.
A lot of DJs were like pissed off though.
Yeah.
A lot of DJs back then really didn't like Steve, and I remember because, of course, this is like my new friend, and I think he's cool, and then all my DJ friends would just talk shit.
Right.
It's kind
And
of
I'm
hating
like-
on him, right?
But I'm like, you know what? It's when someone's humble. He didn't think he was the best. He didn't even pretend or act like he knew anything. He was very humble and wanted to learn. So I personally just don't really hate on someone who is coming from a genuine place of wanting to learn. And now everybody's like all about him. I'm like, you hated him back then.
Really?
Now nobody talks shit at all.
Yeah, that's cool. A lot of motherfuckers talking shit. No, I always thought he was a nice dude, man.
He is.
Yeah.
And he doesn't claim to be he definitely never claims to be like the best or the most technical or the best DJ. He's just doing his thing. So
I think his label was definitely pushing out a bunch of like,
Dim Mak.
yeah, they were doing a bunch of a dope shit. A lot of the artists that he
Yeah.
had on that label and stuff like that.
He's a really smart businessman.
Yeah.
And then you kind of made your way from LA to Vegas, right?
Yeah, so at that time,
But before we get into that, I want to talk about Banana Split and you DJing there. What was it like? You would open up. How would it be?
I played there a few times. I think one time I opened, but DJ Am and I have the same birthday. So we both played together on our birthday, which was probably like my best night that I've had. Because this is like 100% my idol.
Yeah.
I'm going to DJ with my idol on our birthday.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't get better.
Wait,
And
isn't his birthday coming up soon?
March 31st.
Yeah.
Same with A-Track. He has the same birthday as well.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
So yeah, I mean, you'd have like Paris Hilton jumping on the tables, dancing, and Lindsay Lohan doing coke in the bathrooms. It was literally like the studio,
Allegedly.
the Studio 54 of our time. Like it was, it was like the first time I felt like I could walk into, because when I moved to LA, I didn't know anyone, and I was like, God, I can't wait for the day that I can walk into a club and actually like know people.
Yeah.
It's like going into the cafeteria at lunch and you like sit alone because you don't know anyone.
Yeah.
So Banana Split was the first time I felt like I could walk in, the door guy gives me like, hey, what's up, Tina? And then I walk in and like, you know everyone. And I feel like everyone went there, felt the same way.
Yeah.
What year was this? Banana Split.
Probably the same time, 2017.
7.
Sorry, I've been saying 2017 the whole time. 2007. Yeah, that many years go by that fast.
Were you there every Sunday, or how did that work?
Pretty much. I lived right down the street, so I mean, we like lived for Sunday nights during that time.
I think you were telling me one story, it could have been you, where you were doing your thing, but then AM at the end of the night was like, yo, like you killed that shit, and it just made you say like, I'm ready to do bigger rooms or something like that.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
We never talk. I never see you.
You told me that once, but something I remember hearing that from you.
I mean, he definitely would give me props.
Yeah.
But
I thought that led for you to like be like, oh, I want to go to Vegas.
No, what led me to go to Vegas was at that. It was funny because DJ Steve Wonder just crashed with me. It was like back in the day because when we were in LA, he
just crashed with you recently.
Yeah, like
Okay.
he just left yesterday. He was out here doing On the Record and Alibi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at that time, we're all in LA. It was like Spider, Steve Wonder, and I were always going. We always go to AM's shows and do everything together.
Yeah. Shout out to Steve Wonder. I haven't seen,
I haven't seen
heard
Steve
from
in a
him
minute.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot in Vegas now.
I noticed that.
Doing
Yeah.
more. He wants to move out here.
He's in the living room at On the Record a lot.
Oh, he has to check in with us before he moves out here.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't know if
Nothing goes down until we say so.
I don't know if we can.
Yeah, never so determined on that.
That was
I don't know.
emotion.
I don't know if we can approve. I don't know if we can approve Steve Wonder's
Why is that?
application.
Why?
I don't know if I want to see him every
You
week.
do.
No, I know.
Joking.
I'm walking through Whole Foods and I see Steve Wonder. I don't want to see that shit.
Why are you joining my town? Just because of stand up at Whole Foods?
I just don't want to see. Yeah, I just don't want to see his ass. Yeah. No, but go ahead.
So I think you were actually DJing at Jet the same time, and Steve. I think Spider first started getting auditions in Vegas, and then Steve got an audition at Jet. This is when they were actually putting DJs into these like year-long contracts.
Yeah.
So it was the goal, and so I went with Steve for his audition just to go support, and then he got it. And then when we were going back to LA, I just started thinking in my mind like, this is like I want to get that Vegas residency. It became the goal, and I didn't feel like it was gonna come to me the same way that it did to like Spider and Steve while they were in LA. I felt like I had to go there and make it happen.
And Steve Wonder started wearing like dress shirts and shit when he DJ'd out here in Vegas. That dude's like a fucking streetwear dude.
But what if the club makes you though?
No, I didn't make him. He just was like, yo, I gotta.
He's
like,
in Vegas.
I gotta Vegas it up, and he started wearing like cufflinks and like dress shirts.
And was he wearing hard bottoms?
Huh?
Hard bottoms or no?
Hard bottom shoe, probably. I don't know. I thought it was like. I remember we used to see this motherfucker like. He used to wear like what? He used to wear like t-shirts and
Look
shit.
at him.
Yeah.
Like, why are you wearing that? Man?
Why are you looking all like all this? Like you looking all.
Come on, let him be, man.
You would have these like Liberace like dress up shirts and shit like that, man.
I swear he
With the
just
ruffles?
told me though. I swear he just told me the club told all the DJs no more black shirts.
When recently?
Yes, yes.
Recently?
And I laughed and I'm like, that's funny because like all the guys I know they wear black shirts and he's like
wait. The clubs that told him recently no
more
black
black.
shirts.
like basically wear something nice. No, don't
Black shirts
show
is
up
like
in a black
DJ
t-shirt.
That's like the DJ uniform.
Yeah.
But I think
Shirt.
that what they're trying to say is like wear something nice. So you guys have never had. I mean, as a female, I'm always getting kind of like suggested of what I need to wear and all that stuff.
Really?
Do they try
Yeah.
to tell you to like be a little more sexy or?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And so there's actually a gig in town that I turned down because in the contract they want you to wear high heels for 6 hours.
Wow.
And I think that's super sexist because they would never make a guy do that.
You can't even see your feet when you're DJing. Like,
It's dumb.
even
It's
know
something
if
that
that
guys
matters, right?
won't really have to deal with. Maybe. I mean,
Well,
they
I
might
remember
say dress up
when
a
I first
little.
moved to Vegas, and I DJed at like Las Vegas. They had, the DJs couldn't wear sneakers for like a couple of months. We had to wear like hard bottom shoes
Yeah.
There you go.
and
So-
dress shirts.
I mean, it's nothing.
So then
it's
they
nothing
do
with-
require you to wear dress shirts.
But
and stuff.
that only lasted for a couple of months. They didn't last too long.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
And they tell us no black shirts.
And it's like I slowly started wearing sneakers. I just started wearing black sneakers.
Yeah,
Black Air Force Ones.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
To get a buy.
I mean, good for you for turning that shit down. I know a lot of women that wouldn't have done that. They would have taken the L.
Yeah.
I think that what they try and do with women is have us literally be like a prop. You know what I mean? Like, especially in a restaurant or a lounge, or even like at one point when I was in LA, the Ellen DeGeneres show was like looking for another DJ, and I just remember feeling like they didn't really want me to DJ. They wanted me as a prop.
Yeah.
They wanted
So you got
to
approached the DJ, the Ellen show?
No, I just heard that they were like auditioning.
Okay.
And in my mind, I'm like, do I spend the time and like go after this? It would have been great. But then at that time I was working on other things and doing gigs, and I just felt like, well, this isn't a format where I can really show any skill. Like it's literally just I'm a prop. And so a lot of these not clubs, but like lounges and restaurants that want to feature women, it's like they're not really doing it in the right way, in my opinion.
That's an interesting way to put it. I've never seen it put that way. I would say it would match the decor. They're trying to get something that captures the decor or the essence of the vibe of like what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And seeing you DJing there or another female or woman DJ DJing there might look slightly more elegant. Mm-hmm. And you guys might play maybe some better music than if I don't know if better music, but definitely looking at you guys at the event would look better than me looking at like Jamie.
I mean, it's true. I'm not the most appetizing thing to look at,
But essentially,
For me, I mean, I wouldn't want to see
Exactly.
me DJing.
But that's exactly what she's saying. Like,
It's not about skills, it's about a look, which is fine. Hey, I'm not going to turn it down. Well, I will if they
think
want
it's
me to wear high
altogether
heels.
though.
yeah. I was like, no, Tina, you turn it out.
It depends on how they're doing it, and it
Was
depends
it
on
like
everything.
was it like high heels, like 6-inch? You had to meet a requirement, or was it just a heel?
The conversation
Was it-
never even got there.
Was
you
it
know?
clear? The clear. No, just-
No, chill. No, it's not the
I
clear
said
ones.
I have to have goldfish in the heel. And
Swimming in the poor goldfish.
Wait, how many gigs have you turned on like this?
handful. I mean, honestly, I
With
don't.
good, would reasonably good play, like good pay.
Well, like if they want me to, like I won't do things. I turned down doing like a Miss Hooters, whatever. You know
Yeah.
how they compete for like Miss Hooters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did that.
I know. I know.
I just
course
didn't.
you knew.
I didn't think
I
that.
didn't know the DJ though, but sure.
You probably won the wings contest every year, right?
Shit, it's easy to kill 50, my guy.
I try to stay away from like wet T-shirt contest. Try and stay away from strip clubs.
What T-shirt contest?
You know,
They
like
still have
spring
those?
break.
Yeah,
you
this-
know, spring. It's just.
What is that?
It's
Like
not- it
South
doesn't
Padre
align.
Island?
Yeah.
I love
Texas.
South Padre
Do you?
Island. Though.
That's where the wet T-shirt contests are happening.
Not at the club I'm at, but
Really?
I do Louis' backyard. It's
I've
just
never heard of it.
just a rager. It's like 5,000 spring breakers there.
At South Padre Island. Do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I've never
I
heard
know
this
exactly
before.
what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is this in LA?
It's in Texas.
No, it's
No.
in LA.
Yeah, South Padre. is
LA wishes they had a South Padre Island. First of all, I mean, I've never been, but I heard it's horrific.
Yeah, I've never been either.
Well, it'll make you never want to have a girl when you have kids.
Big daughter.
Because you're literally
Jesus
walking down the
Christ.
beach and it's just, you're seeing teenagers having sex just in the shower, the public shower on
Well,
the
have you
beach
guys
with
seen-
everyone around.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just twerking, naked, sex everywhere.
Talking about this, have you guys seen the new?
You're calling your foster daughter like, stay inside, don't go out.
Fucking leave
You're not
that.
leaving the room.
Don't leave the room. Order another pizza. No, these new videos of Rosarito have been floating around. Did you guys see those?
Who's that?
Rosarito Beach?
Rosarito Beach, like
What is
papas
that?
and beer.
No, what is?
What is that?
You guys never heard of that?
Rosarito?
No, what is it?
Rosarito is a place down in Mexico. It's about a 5-hour drive from here, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a spring break location right now. And there's like literally like girls like just spreading open in the bar, getting eaten out and having sex
So
in
this
a
is
club.
the new Cancun.
This is the new Cancun right now. Like if you like hashtag search it on Twitter, it's pretty fucking.
But this has
insane.
been happening
I don't know.
since the
I
beginning of time on spring break, no?
I'm
I
not
haven't
sure.
seen
Yeah.
it like this, man. It's pretty
It's
nuts.
because there's more phones out, right?
Yeah,
That's
like,
a lot of phones.
Imagine if we had phones when Freaknik was around, like in Atlanta.
Yeah,
like,
but I
But
don't
they have
But
phones
this
that-
shit wasn't happening last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
It was
a
happening
nuisance.
when I was going to spring break. That was a long time ago.
Motherfuckers
Like in
getting eaten
Cancun.
out at the bar.
No, I mean the phone.
This shit is crazy. Never like a girl's getting her
Well-
titties sucked by two guys. Like it's pretty insane.
Never's eyes were so wide.
Cut to me. Okay.
There was some crazy shit.
This is obviously Tina T's scene because she loves South Padre Island.
I do, but I would never bring a teenager there, and it makes you not want to have a girl when you have kids.
Wow.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh god, maybe that's what made me not want to have kids. DJing spring break, yeah, that'll do it.
I'd be pissed. Like I did all this work and this is how you ended up.
Like
I worked hard on
Instagram.
You getting your coochie, like you getting your coochie eaten on the
Yeah.
bar, like that's what you doing.
They're
Imagine
putting
that parent.
Patron on it. It's fucking insane.
Patron,
Yeah,
even worse.
search it up. Hashtag
Oh my
Rosarito
God.
on Twitter. It's
At
fucking
least put some Don Julio 70 on that shit.
Right.
It's a lot smoother. It's
a lot smoother.
than the 1942,
Didn't I teach you anything?
and it's
Jesus.
cheaper.
Middle
Jesus.
class.
So
Back to Tina T.
Wait, so you would do South Padre Island. What was it like when you did it?
Or do you still do it?
I haven't done it this last year, but I did it for probably like 8 years straight.
And it's been crazy for every 8 years. Has
Yeah.
it gone steadily worse?
No.
It's been the same
South
craziness.
South Padre Island is like a destination spot. Like the whole rest of the year, nothing's happening there.
All right, so wait, explain this because you guys you don't know what South Padre Island is,
No,
right?
no.
I know.
But it's like boat parties, right? Kind of, or no?
No, they're on the beach too, right? They're like
It's all on the beach.
Is
and
it?
and there's like 3 massive clubs that have like a 5,000 person capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of just, and then there's the beach parties is like 20, 30,000 people with a stage. It's like Coca-Cola or someone will have a stage. And they have dance contests and throw out giveaways.
Are those
and-
clubs seasonal? Like they're not open. I'm imagining.
I'm sure there's
Time of
no-
year.
But it looks like
They don't have enough
it looks
people.
like Porky's, right? It looks like really dated, no?
It looks like I just searched it up. It looks like the old MTV, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
spring break look. Yeah.
Okay, that's better. But
Yeah.
like Porky's, which is
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, Porky's.
And it's funny because you'll randomly see like a husband, wife, kid pushing a stroller, and you're just like,
No way.
because
Don't walk.
people live there.
well, they probably booked it there for a vacation and didn't realize.
But there
it
wasn't
spring
wilding out in the
break.
daytime, right? This is at
Yes.
night.
No,
This
they're
is all
wilding out
day.
This is all day.
This is 24 hours a day.
It's
Never.
like,
Why you acting like you don't know what's
No,
going on?
I'm just saying
Spring
at
break?
night. I thought like in the daytime, everybody just chill.
What are they doing? Playing shuffleboard?
cornhole.
it's like girls going wild 24/7.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
the most
shit.
DVDs. Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
see,
it's fun.
Girls Gone Wild was the only outlet we saw that shit on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
What
that's-
happened to that? Is it?
That dude,
I
he
don't
went to he went to jail.
Oh yeah, he went to jail like
Yeah.
in 2007, some shit like that.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone has, like, it's all over the internet now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So what is it called? Rosetta Stone Beach? What is it?
Rosarito.
Beach?
Rosarito.
Beach?
You want me to pull up the video for you guys can see the
I don't wanna see it.
Okay, cool.
Maybe later.
Rosarito going wow, it's crazy, guys.
All right, so you came to, so Steve Wonder was your,
By the way,
Oh, way
Wonder-
back to Jet now.
back to Steve Wonder.
Tina T, look, listen, you talking about all this great shit you're doing, and we just went left every time. I apologize for our behalf.
I like how he went from Spring Breakers getting their ass eaten on the bar to Steve Wonder at Jet. So back to
Wearing
Steve
button-ups.
Wonder at Jet. Wearing button-ups.
Actually, the first time I met you, Tina, was at the Rhino, Spinning Rhino,
Okay.
Hey.
with,
Back to fucking nakedness.
with DJ Riz.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I remember that night. That was
Yeah.
so fun. Riz is so funny because when a stripper would come up to him, he'd do everything to like get them away. He's like, no. If you don't have a dick, I don't want anything.
Big
like he just
shit.
keeps saying stuff like that, and to get him to go away, it was hilarious.
Big shout to Riz, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the fucking cool. He was the best. We used to like hang out at
Cherry?
Rhino.
Was it Cherry Lounge that he would play at?
He did Cherry, but he
He
did
did
something-
Pure
He
also.
did Pure, yeah.
Pure.
Oh, that's
he
right.
did Pure.
He did Jet a few times.
He did Tangerine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I mean, he would fucking. He was the coolest, man.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite DJs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of our
Definitely.
favorites.
I always think
definitely.
about like if I get married, who would be the DJ?
Yeah.
Riz.
It'd be Riz.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
He's a fucking scumbag, though. Don't get it wrong.
Riz was a guest at Camp Spinoff. He came out from New York and stayed for a few days.
You know, Riz.
great.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, Riz, you want to dance? No. Come on, man. Don't do it. We'd always get him the most busted chick and get her to dance. Cookie, why you do this? Come on, man. Oh, jeez. All right, fine. You take the dance.
But see, in Vegas, the strip clubs, that was like a social thing.
Yeah,
like when the
afterwards-
clubs got out, you weren't like. Now I try to not go to strip clubs, but back then it was. It's different for me now because now that I've had like a teenage girl and I've been dealing with like kids that are been sexually abused, I can't be in a strip club and see these young girls, probably 18, like grinding on some nasty old man in a business suit. Like it just really. It's not a fun time for me anymore. So, but back then, yeah, we'd like go there after the clubs, eat, hang out.
It was like a time to like talk about your gig,
Yeah.
and then just like talk shit, and then catch up with all the DJs. And
Also,
see
it's
what's
basically
up.
the Road podcast before it was a Road podcast.
It was.
Yeah,
It was all of us literally just hanging out,
Talk about the
talking about
night,
shit, talking
how the
about
night
music.
went. Talk about music. Yeah.
Yeah, out of town DJs coming in, letting us know about this DJ or that dude who was dope or this dude who sucked and blah 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 and blah blah. Yeah, it was like it was like a gossip.
That doesn't really happen anymore, huh?
No.
Still,
Like,
still does.
yeah.
Not as often
Not
as it
really.
used to.
When there's out of town DJs, usually that's where
That's where
we
Crooked
end up-
takes them too.
Yeah, go get some food.
No,
maybe
but it's a
some
good
more
question.
drinks.
How come that doesn't happen anymore?
I feel like the camaraderie that we used to have back during that time, it's a little bit different.
The
Like,
camaraderie,
I
right?
think we
Yeah.
do it, but we do it amongst ourselves now, right? Like we very rarely do we do it with anyone else, or like
or
maybe-
anyone new.
Yeah, anyone new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same like dudes we really.
I mean,
we really
maybe a
fuck
lot
with,
of
you
things
know
had
what
to come. A lot of things came into play. There was probably no social media,
I mean? Yeah.
and then
So we didn't know what was going
So
on
we
with
had
each
to
other.
like really. I mean, we
So we had to meet in a physical place.
yeah,
Yeah.
because now we just talk shit through like group chat or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, yeah.
I know back then I also didn't mind being out till 9 a.m. You know, like there were times we'd leave Spearmint Rhino and it's just full on daylight,
Yeah.
9 a.m. And that didn't bother me. Now I just, when I get done with the gig, I want to go home.
Yeah.
Look what parenting did to Tina T, man.
You guys do the same thing. We're just getting old.
You never got uncomfortable like hanging out with like groups of dudes and groups of DJs in like strip clubs and shit?
No. You mean uncomfortable, like actually like worried something was going to happen to me?
No, I just mean like there's like during the time there weren't that many like women DJs.
I was so used to it because talking about like from the age of 15, well, I guess I left out. So when I started battling in Seattle, it was a group of all turntablists, like probably 8. Like the whole scene in Seattle was small. So even then I was constantly around all dudes all the time. So it wasn't, that's actually where I felt, that's where my friends and where I get to bro down and felt the same way in Vegas. So it never
Did you
felt
know
weird.
Scene from back those days?
Yeah. Scene was doing the DMC in Seattle way back when.
So you've never felt uncomfortable, but it's also made it hard to date like dudes, right?
I definitely don't prefer not to date
DJs.
DJs or honestly anyone who's paying me.
Okay.
Even as actually
That makes
anyone
sense.
really in the club, because I messed up in college. I dated like the head of security at a club, and then I found out he had a girlfriend the whole time. So then when I had to go in and DJ on my regular night, he's there
Hey, fuck you, Tom.
and he's dancing by himself on the dance floor. I just wanted to, it just ruined my night every single week. So I just don't want to, anyone in the realm of me coming in and doing my
She
thing.
just kept playing like fuck men songs and shit.
That one, fuck you, I don't want you back. That
You
old
think the
tune.
song is about you? Shit like
Khalees,
that.
I hate you so much right
Yeah,
now.
shit like that. Like anti men songs and shit.
No, I just learned a good lesson. Like never again.
So you don't date industry guys?
Try not to. I mean, now that I'm kind of open to things now, but that was always, I was pretty hardcore about that the whole time coming up because I never wanted to be looked at like I got that because I slept with
Yeah.
someone or whatever.
Yeah.
I already have to deal with a lot of my credibility taken away because I'm a girl. Like, oh, well, she's only doing that gig because she's a girl. She's only getting this. Even on Master of the Mix, I would constantly hear, you're only still here because you're a girl.
How was that
So-
experience doing that master?
Well, I want
mix?
to before we get into that, I want to talk about. Did you ever like get hit on by a DJ, like male DJs, a lot? How did you handle that?
Just
What's up, bro?
Because there was a,
She went with the bro.
no,
I
there
just-
was
You're the homie, yo.
there were
I just
dudes
friend
that would
zone
hit
him.
me up and be like upset about her.
what?
About
Yeah.
her
Why are you
like, rejecting them.
Yeah.
No.
no,
Well, then you need to tell.
No, but I would tell them like, "Yo, you stupid! Like, why are you trying to like make
Yeah.
a move on like shorty? Like that's
She's a homie.
She's a homie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And they,
sweet.
No, of course, yeah. But I think it was stupid anyway to
Yeah.
like do that shit. Like, I would ask them like, what made you like, what preempted you to think that you had a chance? And it was like, no, you didn't have a chance. You was just, you
She's
guys are
being
like
nice.
peers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was a name. They would give you a name. You want to know the name they would call you?
I want to know the name. I mean, it's probably been so long.
Christian, get ready for the bleep here.
It's not bad. They would call you. They would call you Tina Tease.
Ooh, spicy. That
Hey.
would be the.
They were like,
I
nah,
mean,
nah.
everybody wants what they can't have.
Cause like yeah, exactly. No, like cause it'd be like groups of dudes. And they'd be like, yo, who's that? Who's that? And they'd be
Who's
like, oh,
the
that's
one
Tina. That's
chick with all
Tina.
The girl with the dreadlocks?
They're like,
you
yo,
mean?
that's Tina.
Yeah, that's
This is
Tina.
pre-dreadlocks. Dreadlocks
Okay.
is like, that's another story. But I'm saying like this is pre-dreads. And dudes would be like, yo, what's up with that? What's up? Let's go with that. And dudes would be like, nah, man, it's Tina Tease, yo.
Yeah.
I love
she'll,
that.
She'll give you the hug, but that's about it.
And that's exactly how I want it to be. I just want other DJs to respect me. And I think that like dating around only just, it's like, I know if there's rumors of whatever, it's just obviously not true because it's not how I roll, you know?
That's cool. Shit. I mean, it's a hard lane the way you, the path you've chosen, because you're really trying to control, I guess, people's outlook on how you've earned every stage of your career, right? Kind of.
Yeah, and I think that's something that men probably don't constantly have to ever think about. Like,
Yeah.
you're never really going to be judged by an opportunity you got because you're a man or because of who you slept with. Like, guys, I don't feel like get judged the same way. Like, if you were
I mean, I think
crooked,
you're
if you
being-
were sleeping around, no one would ever even put that into talking about you as a DJ.
I mean, people used to say I got work because I was Asian.
Really?
No.
I was going to say, yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
That never happened. No, yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, but don't you? What do you think about the time now with women DJs and female DJs? It's a bigger demand.
Yes.
There's definitely like a larger supply. There's like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there like camaraderie between all of you guys?
Definitely. Like in Vegas, Scylla the Thrilla and Jenna Palmer started a Instagram group of all the female DJs in Vegas.
What is it called?
Vegas's Finest.
Vegas's finest.
I mean, you can't find it. It's a private group that we're all in. So we just like have dinners and try and get together and try and support each other.
Did you guys have
Wait,
one at
wait,
Best
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
I've
a
heard
secret
about
society?
these. I've heard about. Yoli
Yeah.
told me about it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
I
a
love
secret
it.
society. It's like
Well, like
the
no men
Illuminati.
allowed?
That-
No men allowed. No.
Yeah, she said like they'll do dinners and then go out after, kind of like being
the
like,
She-Man
yeah.
Hater Club.
I was trying to think.
Wait.
of that.
This is pretty sinister over here. What's
I
going
seen
on
it.
over here?
I seen pictures.
I mean, I don't think it's like a.
You guys aren't supposed to market it out though, right? It's supposed to be like
No, we post it on our Instagram
Yeah.
and stuff.
but it's a
like-
private account.
It's a private group on Instagram where we talk to each other. Yeah.
Oh, so I couldn't see that Instagram account.
It's
No,
like
we don't-
It's an Instagram group chat, right? Like
Yeah. We're not like talking shit and we're not gossiping. It's literally just like, all right, here's gonna be our monthly like ladies' night. Who can make it? Let's meet up.
How
That's
many?
pretty
How many
dope.
girls is on the chat?
whatever the max on Instagram is. So there's a few that we can't add anymore because we maxed out, and I think you max out at like 30.
Oh shit!
But it's great to, I always love hanging out with other DJs and
Wait, I don't understand what this is. What? Do you max at 30? What does that mean?
on Instagram,
On
when
chat?
you start
A
a
group
group
chat?
chat on Instagram.
Oh, it's a group chat. It's
On
not like
Instagram.
a page.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's just a way that all of us can, coordinate and
How
talk.
do those
Oh, I
dinners
thought
go?
this was like a page.
No.
Yeah, just like curious, like when you guys have these dinners, like what kind of conversations, like what's going on in these dinners?
D, what are you worried about?
Nothing.
It sounds like you're worried.
No, you sound like you're worried
You sound
about
like you're worried about it.
What you do, D?
How many DJs you smash?
Yeah, girls, huh? Let's talk about it.
We pretty much talk about every single DJ guy
is
in
sweating
Vegas
right now.
and tear them apart.
Bullets, sweating.
So,
bullets.
like, when you have these meetings and shit, what exactly are you talking about? Are you talking about?
Is my name being mentioned, Tina?
You guys don't need to worry about it. No, it's just fun. We honestly just get to know each other on a personal level. Not even just talk about DJ stuff,
Yeah.
but just like, hey, we're all, And there's stuff that we can relate to as women that you just can't with the guys. So
We should do something like that.
We should raid one of those.
Oh, we caught you guys. I swear, I think there was one at Best Friend.
Yep.
Just
The
show
top
up.
of the year. I remember I saw mad pictures of that.
You should just show up. Like, looky what we have here.
Looking, huh?
What's going on here?
Little estrogen party over here.
You could come strip.
Whoa.
I don't know if you'd want that. Fucking drink spitting out everywhere, bro. All right, so you guys all get along.
Yeah, so like in LA, Dazzler
it's a huge
and
market,
DJ
right?
City
Yeah.
has been doing a great job. Like Dazzler put on a ladies
Yeah, they
link
had
up,
one recently.
and there was like 100 girls there. So
What is it called? Ladies Link Up or something?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouts to Dazzler for doing that.
Yeah, she's awesome. So it's just cool to see more women kind of like feeling. I think maybe there's still a few women out there who are competitive and might not want to like jump in with 2 feet, but teach their own.
We had Bella Fiasco here, and we were wondering if there is a line drawn in the sand between, kind of like club DJs or like women DJs who actually DJ, and like influencer DJs who are like influencers who just DJ, but it's more like it's like a show. It's more like a con. I don't know what you would call it. You know what I mean?
The influencer.
I kind of know what you mean. I feel like it's the same with guys because there's a lot of guy DJs I see too that are like influencer DJs.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like their work.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I was working
I'll
at
send you a
a.
many,
few.
but, yeah.
I know at least 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Do I know them?
It's bad.
No, I'll send them to you and you'll laugh. It's pretty horrific.
Okay.
But your work speaks for itself. So I'm just like, go ahead, like go do your thing. I don't think they're really going to be able to build a credible career that way. So I think they'll just fizzle out. There's no point in even giving it energy. It'll
It doesn't
work
cross
itself out.
into your market at all, huh? Not really?
I don't think so. I mean, if someone wants to hire an influencer because they have more followers than me, then
Yeah.
like let them do that because they'll probably be kicking themselves later.
Damn.
Yeah.
Stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Nice.
Huh?
Got
Look at
it.
her. Look at
Look
this.
at her.
Strong
Parenting,
woman DJ over here.
parenting makes you better. Look at Tina.
I think it surprises me actually how much camaraderie there is. I would think it would be because females can be very catty and maybe a little jealous, that it might be a little less camaraderie and more like hate.
Are you generalizing women right now?
I guess so.
Shut up. Shut
Like
up.
catty and more bitchy?
Well, guys are just
Yeah,
as catty.
yeah,
They just
yeah.
don't get talked. We don't refer to it the same way. But guys are maybe even more competitive
They're
than women.
very
Yeah.
chatty patty.
Because when it comes to DJing, yeah, we're all competitive. And I think the people that feel most comfortable hanging out and broing down are people who are not as. It's not even about competitiveness. It's just about confidence. If you're confident in your gigs and what you're doing, then you really don't worry
Yeah.
about,
Dee's just worried about what you guys are saying about
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Because from the looks of it, I seen the picture and like, you might have to be worried, dude.
Oh, man.
Well, like you guys, I feel like guys have way more beef. There's a lot of guys. I mean, recent beef.
There's just more DJs. There's more guy DJs.
Yeah.
As soon as there become so many women DJs that it's hard for women DJs to get work, that shit is gonna start getting ugly.
Just like guys also.
There's a lot of women who have a hard time getting work now. Like, it's not like we're like, hey, just because you're a woman, like, here's a whole calendar of gigs for you. I mean, a lot of women have to work just as hard as guys to get gigs. And a lot of women have to work harder because I've literally had venues not book me because they don't trust having a female DJ.
That sucks.
Because, like, yeah, we can use it to our advantage, but it also hurts us when a club doesn't take us seriously or doesn't trust us.
You get that a lot though?
I did before. Like, now I've been able to build a name for myself, but
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten that. Yeah.
I feel like I would trust a woman more because she knows what they want to dance to. So that's kind of like.
But they may use a woman's like how do you say it? Like a woman being feminine, like she's not aggressive enough to like
know.
really push the envelope.
I think it just depends. I mean,
I feel like Vegas is notorious. Like, no matter what, in Vegas, they're yelling at you, like, pick it up, do this, do that.
I just remember in like the early 2000s, managers would tell me they didn't book like women DJs because a lot of them cried under pressure. I'm not even joking. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe.
like
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
a lot of the women DJs would cry. They'd be getting yelled at and they would like cry.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, I don't want to deal with fucking
Homeboy over there.
with shorties crying. when I'm telling her to pick it up, or like something's going off, like I'm like, yo, like I don't have time to be like, excuse me, we need to like hit him with like some bangers. He's gonna be like, fucking hit him.
But see, it's pretty hard to take that kind of yelling. I have never experienced that kind of yelling outside of Vegas. Actually, once in New York, but it was a Vegas property. And I think that that's just the corporate the culture they've gotten used to here is that they can like yell at us. When I'd play at Privé, the owner would just be like, what the fuck? Pick it up. What the fuck are you doing? Like, and all I could think, and this is like, the whole room's dancing. I'm not blind, and it's like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And so it just made me think, any other work environment, that wouldn't fly. You can't yell at people like that, That's just, so only as DJs, and we're independent contractors, so we just have to take it.
You can't do nothing about it.
No, but it's jarring. Like, if you haven't experienced that, you're already under a lot of pressure. You're staring at a couple thousand people, and someone's screaming and cussing in your ear. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt close to crying?
No.
Or from the pressure?
Punching somebody instead?
No, because actually it was DJ Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Gave me good advice.
Shout to Obi.
When I first played at Tao Beach and I got yelled at, he said, honestly, you're never going to have fun until you just stop caring. Because if you let the yelling get to you, they just do it. Even when the energy is high, they're still going to do it. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. They just want to yell. So I just had to learn to not let it get to me. If you let it get to you, then you'll never have fun. But if you can let it roll off your back, I mean, it could really ruin your whole set, though, if you let it get to you.
Definitely, yeah.
We just got to know sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. It has to do with, like, just one table complaining about the music or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it has to do with you, but, I'm just saying, like, yeah, you're right. But I guess there's a lot of truth to that. When you stop caring and you just start just DJing, like,
Yeah.
and I think that's what liquor does, right? It just kind of makes you care a little bit less. Because when I'm fucking sober, I'm a little bitch. I'm like sensitive.
Don't talk to me.
No, I'm just like, yeah, I just look at people when they stop dancing and I'm like sober.
What am I doing?
No, I get like angry. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to stop dancing, you little motherfucker? All right. And I get like, oh, fuck
Stop
you.
to this.
Yeah, and then I'll start playing like some other shit. Oh, you don't like this one either,
Oh,
huh,
no.
motherfucker? You're too good to dance with it. Like, this shit is working in my head. But when I'm drunk, I'm just like, whatever. Hey, like, I just start just throwing shit on.
Too bad he's not dancing because he can talk.
I'm dancing, so fuck that.
Yeah, look at me, huh? Start twerking.
And I think part of that not caring, too, is also technically, so when they yell at you and they say, you're in a house track, and they say, play Soulja Boy now. It's like, you literally have to not care to the point of just start. Like, I'm not going to waste time trying to mix or do anything. I'm just going to, just right away.
Just drop the shit.
Because that's the level that you have to get to of not caring. Like, if they're yelling it, they want this song right now, they literally want it. Stop the song and play it.
That was one of the hardest things I had to deal with at Hyde.
Yeah.
Hyde in the Bellagio, Hyde Vegas. They would have 20 presentations in one night, and they would just cut you in the middle of your set and just play the Rocky theme.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it would just kill me inside. I'm like, oh my God, now I have to start all over again.
I think a part of it is ego too. For me, when someone tells me to switch up the music, it's like, I'm working hard at this shit. I know I'm doing a good job, and you just basically told me what I'm doing isn't good enough. So it's like an ego hit.
Really?
And then I get upset.
Well, you don't get an ego hit with Hyde.
No. But I mean, like what she was saying, going from Calvin Harris to Soulja Boy. It's like,
it's basically telling you what you're doing doesn't matter at all. We can just
knowing that you worked hard at this.
Yeah.
They don't know what you put into this shit.
I think Vegas has a whole other level of micromanaging. You've got VIP hosts, managers, owners, and there's so many levels. And then sometimes you even have bottle service girls. It's at Privé, I had to finally put my foot down just from the amount of people coming and trying to tell me what to do and the inconsistencies of it all. Yeah. And I had to finally say look, if you're doing bottle service and you have a request, you need to put it through a manager.
I think what finally got through to me is when I saw the person yelling at me getting yelled at, and I was like, okay, so that's where it's coming from.
It's a yell chain.
It was I was watching at a corner of my eye, watching him get yelled at, and he came and yelled at me. So I was like, oh, it's not me. It's
sometimes
some shit going on. Yeah. Well, it is you, but it's getting filtered.
It needed to hit me. You know what I mean? He was feeling it, so he had to let it out on me. It's all good.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, fuck, man. I mean, Vegas is one of those tough markets. Everyone wants to come in, and then when they come into this market, they realize it's really not.
It's not
about,
as easy as it thinks.
It's not all about just being artistic and rocking a party. It's literally just like juggling 20 things going on at once and keeping the room.
Yeah.
Yep.
20.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, especially like, you know, like when we DJ at like you know, when at Light,
Mm-hmm.
and you have like Rick Ross there.
Yeah.
There's like so much shit going on.
Yeah.
It's like there's tables, there's big shout out to this, you know, there's outreach, there's these clubs in the room. Then you got to set up for the you
DJ.
like you set up for Rick Ross's
Rick Ross
DJ,
DJ,
and then, yeah, it's like there's a lot of things that going on. You have to like keep the room, and then sometimes the artist always comes on late, so then you just gotta like keep it going and keep it going without burning shit, and then keeping the energy going.
I opened for Fabulous in Reno, and I was like, so he's gonna have his own DJ, right? Let me just make sure. And they're like, yeah, we have a separate setup, mixer, everything. So of course he doesn't have a DJ. And while I'm opening, they're saying, okay, we just need you to go download his show tracks. And I'm
In
like,
the middle of your set.
I'm like, well, one, I'm playing. Two, those show tracks are not available online
yeah.
for me to download. These are custom. His management's going to have to send them. So they're like, okay, we'll get them. So then they bring it on a jump drive. They're all in the wrong order. He's going up. They're telling me to play his songs in the wrong order. Like, it was
man.
the crowd had no idea. We got through it, but I'm just like shocked that someone like Fabulous would show up with no DJ and trust in me, who he doesn't know, to not like totally fuck up his routine, his set, because I could have easily.
But you didn't.
No,
You're a
but he
pro.
doesn't know.
Maybe he did his research and saw how dope you were.
And his whole like group's just partying. I'm pretty sure his DJ actually was there. He just wasn't DJing. He was like hanging out with girls and smoking pot.
Wow.
Like whatever.
I actually love DJing for the artists.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever have.
You know what? I had a bad experience with Maya.
Maya?
Yeah.
Everybody.
She know the I DJ.
Wait, you, me, that chick?
In
Yeah,
Vegas?
Maya.
My love is like, whoa.
Maya. No, Maya. Like the best of me.
Best of me?
Yeah. Yeah.
My love.
Yeah, like
Well-
Lady Marmalade.
Yeah. So she DJ'd at Jet a few years back, and her manager, I had to DJ for her, so her manager gave me her CD. It was like, yo, I have all the songs in order, so all you gotta do is just play the songs in order, and she gonna perform it.
On a CD?
Yeah, on
When
a
was
CD.
this?
It's 2008, 9.
On a CD? Wow, okay.
So anyway, so I did that, but she didn't. She wasn't supposed to perform the songs in that order of the CD. So it was like all mixed up. So her performance is like kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And after her performance, her manager came up to me. He was like, "Congratulations, you've ruined the whole show."
Well, fuck you too.
Jeez,
And
man.
I just laughed. Okay.
Give him a good shrug. Sorry.
Can I meet Maya?
Can we get some pictures?
I don't understand these managers, how they don't prepare for
know.
these
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
It's so
man.
easy
That's
too.
what I'm
It's the
saying.
easiest thing. It's the easiest.
I've heard
shit.
nightmare stories about Gucci Mane.
Oh,
Oh, really?
yes,
Yeah.
we've heard.
And just horror stories about just like these, just not being prepared.
Yeah.
And just like coming up with a flash drive and then.
And it's so easy now.
You know,
It's the
you know who's
easiest.
always prepared? Old school rappers.
Really?
Old school rappers, like they have like one MP3 that just plays for like
a whole
20
show track?
minutes,
Yeah.
and it's like it even includes like dead air for them to talk on.
And get a breather.
Every time like when I did that old school Wednesdays at Lavo joint,
Yeah.
all of their show tracks or whatever were perfect.
Wow.
And it was just always on point. It's
Yeah.
the new artists that
I feel like
every
they was
time.
professionals back then. They was like, they knew how to do shows.
Well, they
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
like a whole thing where they would like, all right, here's dead air. I'm gonna start doing some
Hype
crowd
crowd,
participation, and they had it down to like almost the exact second when it would end, the song would start.
Yeah.
I was like really impressed.
Damn.
And meanwhile, I had like Party Next Door at One Oak, and they were just like, "What do you got of his?" And I'm like,
What?
I'm like a big fan, so I have a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually have the Work version, you know, the Rihanna song Work,
Yeah.
but I have it with his vocals. And they're like, oh yeah, why don't you play that? Maybe you want to perform that. And I'm just like, yo,
Maybe.
what the fuck is going on here? Like,
There's no list.
there was just nothing to. There was like no preparation for shit. They're just like, yeah, play that.
Nah,
And then, and then when he wanted me to end the song, his manager would just, he would
Tap you
he
on the
would
shoulder.
no he would look at his manager, and his manager would look at me, and then I would have to like end the song, and I'm like, why can't he just tell me? He didn't even want to look at me. He had to look at the manager. The manager
You're standing
looked
next
at
to
me.
him.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the manager, and the manager's like, yeah, change it. But it was like it was ridiculous. But
You know who does a really good job of those shows is Sour Milk. Not to toot his horn too hard, but
Just,
I opened up for him at One Oak with Tyga.
Yeah.
And Tyga kind of like gives him free reign to just choose from tracks, and the way he like kind of like curates it is dope. To the point where one time Tyga even looked back at him like, "Oh shit, like that was dope how you did that, like how you brought in that."
Well, they
track."
work together a lot, so
Yeah.
they probably used to.
He
each
probably has
other
like a trust
vibe.
level with him.
Yeah, exactly.
That he's able to do that.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to build like a good show for like the artists
Yeah.
if you're DJing with them and going
Plus,
on tour.
Tiger got club hits for days too.
Yeah, he did. He went out of one song, kind of like echoed it out. Tyga talked, and then he dropped "Faded," and the timing was perfect. It was the crowd went crazy, and Tyga looked at Sour Milk and was like, "Oh shit!" Like
You did
dope.
that.
Actually, big shout to Sour Milk. Didn't they just do? They just did Hakkasan with Tiger last night,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard it was
Sunday.
packed. I heard it was packed.
Tiger's that dude right now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no new music out right now, though, right?
No, it's been slow.
Fuck.
I think by next probably couple weeks you're gonna start hearing shit come out.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Tina, you missing the Vegas clubs?
Not really.
No.
She's like,
Well, I mean, the like the big mega clubs, there's just so much pressure involved, and I feel like once you do one, they're all kind of the same, you know?
Can you do a Vegas? All right. Can you DJ a Vegas like big room sober?
Yeah.
You can.
no, she was
Is it easier
parent.
when you're like a little drunk though?
No,
I
honestly,
mean, when you're not drunk, but when you're drinking,
You're
is it
buzzed.
easier?
a little bit. I think once I get comfortable. So usually it just kind of depends where I have the crowd. Once I feel like I got the crowd, like the switching over from an opener to me, I don't like to be, that's a little stressful.
Yeah.
Once
I fucking hate that.
Once we switch over, and once I feel like, okay, I got the crowd where I want them, then I'll start drinking. But I also don't want to have to go to the bathroom a lot. So if I'm playing like the whole night, I can't stand like having to run to the bathroom, tell all the girls in line, sorry, I'm DJing, can I cut in front of you? Like, yeah. So I guess shots are easier because then I won't, it's not like I'm drinking beers.
Yeah.
But
You explained to me how the times have changed in Vegas to when you were DJing Vegas, when you were doing Marquee, and you were doing Privé and all of these clubs, to what they are now. You're like the rates have changed, right?
yeah, well, I left the country for a year and then just kept traveling. So I'm kind of getting back to Vegas as of like 3-4 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to find my new residency, but everything is just, the rates have dropped down so low that I don't know if like this is the level where everyone's accepting this, or if we're like, no, fuck this, we need to do something about it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to like feel that out, because if we're like, no, fuck that, we should do something about it, then I don't want to be a part of the problem. And I'm totally fine taking a step back to like strategize with the right people and like not help it go down further. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys have been here. What are your thoughts on rates?
I mean, I've been the victim of losing gigs because I didn't want to accept a lower rate.
Because they'll just find someone else,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the problem, is that they'll just find someone to do it for that rate, and it might just be someone younger that's hungry that wants to get put on.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll just accept that low rate, not knowing any better, and not having like maybe like a OG in their corner to tell them not to do it, to like wait and let your worth speak for itself. You know what I mean? So I think there's gonna always be a situation where there's such a saturation of DJs that someone's gonna take. So if they're not gonna give me the gig, someone's gonna take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it's right.
I mean, I had someone tell me, Tina, you're fighting an uphill battle with this one that you're not going to win. But I don't know. It's kind of just sad to think that we're in Vegas. Like,
Right.
Vegas should not be paying crumbs to their DJs. Like, I literally feel like the bathroom attendant is going to walk away with more money than the DJ at this point.
That's
And there's
horrible.
nothing against bathroom attendants.
Right.
But, the DJ is a very valuable, important part of the club. And I
Yeah.
don't think that they're treating it that way anymore. Yeah.
Do you think they think that we're expendable, or there's just so many?
I think there's so many. Yeah, there's so many. You know, it's funny because I was talking to Revolution about it. At one point in LA, he had done all the legwork and gotten right to the point where he was ready to start a union of DJs.
Who is this?
DJ Revolution. And it didn't happen because, in his words, it all comes down to ego and money. And that's why it's not going to work. But the concept is great because if you think about it, none of us have health, like we don't get health insurance from our job. We have to pay for all that stuff ourselves. And I know DJs who pay a lot. So if we were in a union that we could pay into that gave us insurance and disability insurance and all of these things, and then minimum, you know, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this many times, and it just takes a bigger entity to actually start that and to get that rolling. But it's one of these things where I think, you know, possibly a record pool might have the outreach to get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because they have so many subscribers that they could maybe create something or start something. And I don't even know what that would entail. But, yeah, I mean.
Because I know that in Vegas they have bartenders that are union bartenders, and a lot of clubs can only hire. So if you're in a union, they can only hire union DJs. And the minimum they can pay, there's a minimum, there's a maximum hours you can work. Like, I think, and honestly, it would help the younger up-and-coming DJs more because it'll set their bottom higher.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
It's rough because it's like all the managers would have to follow this and run with this, and then I don't know.
Or it sets up some people to not have to have managers, because if you have a union taking care of you and you've got steady work with minimums, there's not really much negotiating.
Right.
Then maybe some people wouldn't have to.
I don't know.
I was only thinking about that because I really have been racking my brain, like, how, if we've all agreed that the rates have gone to shit, how do we even begin to try to turn it the other way?
Well, it's not everyone's rates that gone to shit.
Yeah,
it's only a certain
caliber
of DJs that have gone to shit a little bit.
Sucks when I see like people that I know that are doing entire nights for maybe like $200-300 6-hour sets. Like, that's crazy.
And you know they're a great DJ.
Yeah,
that's the worst
but
part.
they still have bills.
Yeah,
they still have to take care of things. Like, I kind of get it. But
I mean, we have homies who undercut us.
Yeah,
they're homies who are coming in like, yo, I'll do the whole night for $500.
Yeah.
Well, if
but,
if they're gonna bring someone else in, I'd honestly rather be a friend of mine. Like,
yeah,
when I turn down gigs, I always follow it immediately up with, but if you're open to it, I have some great people I'd love to send your way.
Yeah.
And then I have some up and coming people that, like, it makes sense for them and the budget makes sense for them.
I don't know. I mean, I think the rates are going down in Vegas because the budget is going to like a lot of like high caliber artists. And at that point, they're just really worried about getting the high caliber artists. I mean, that's my thinking. And if they are going to get a DJ that's worth the money, there has to be a following that's attached to it. It's just not enough that, you know, we had this conversation. I mean, going back to A-Track and Roticon, it's really going back to what are you bringing to the table? And then, you know, Roticon brought it up. It's not enough that you're a good DJ. No one gets booked off of being a good DJ. And if your story or if your marketing is that you're a good DJ, that's marketing in itself, but not a lot of people can get away with that.
But the disparity is crazy. Like, even with Shecky, when he was saying like people that were like opening up or closing for Avicii, who's making 6 figures, the closer might get $200. Yeah, that's a huge disparity. It almost doesn't even make sense because I would have never guessed it.
But then it's also like the marketing and the connections. Like, if I was opening for, you know, an Avicii or something like that, if I was doing that, you know, it's up to me to really market that.
Yeah.
And get it out there with that opportunity. If you're doing nothing with that opportunity, then that's really kind of on you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a catch-22. I don't know what to say. Like, you're either getting the marketing and you're getting exposure, and all of these guys at all these tables and all of these people who are there see Avicii, they're going to see you DJ.
Yeah.
And the likelihood of you getting a gig from that is probably high.
It's very high.
So you got to see like, yo, like, I'm in a good opportunity. I got to pimp this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all eyes are on you at that point.
Yeah. So it's like, I get it to a certain point. $200 is a little low, but you know what I mean? That's really
very
fucking low. But I mean,
low.
I feel exactly what she's saying, but it's one of those things that, yeah,
Do you
like
feel
you
like
said,
it's a battle that we can't win? I don't want to say we, because I'm not in anyone else's pockets, but do you feel like
It's out of our
Tina,
hands.
it's a battle that you can't win?
the only way
Like,
it
just
works.
accept it.
The only way it works is if the guys who are in power, who are in demand, are saying, if they say something to the clubs.
Yeah. The ace slot DJ.
Yeah. So if like a club really wants me, and I'm like, yo, I actually want this opener. How much is he getting paid, by the way? He's getting this. Nah, like, give him this.
Yeah.
That maybe could work, but it's none of his fucking business either way. Like, he's getting his money, so why the fuck does it matter? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. Well, I mean, back in the day, you had people, though, that, like, looked... Like, AM took a lot of DJs under his wing. He started Dexstar, and he brought all his friends with him. When AM passed, like, nobody there gave two shits about us,
Yeah.
So it was natural, and, like, no one had really hard feelings, because AM was the reason why we were there.
But a lot of people...
So he was putting a lot of people on.
As much as I love that he did put people on, a lot of people thought that they were just getting overpaid as well. Like, it was so inflated. It was kind of like, oh, like, these aren't normal prices. This isn't, like, this isn't something that's sustainable. Just
Like
because
the housing market.
Yeah, I mean, because it's just built. It's built on AM's reputation. Like, so whatever. Like, if I was on that crew, whatever I was getting was built on AM's value.
Yeah.
And if his value went down, my value went down. I mean, luckily but I will say this: when AM's rate went up, all our rates went up.
Yeah.
I guess we just don't have someone that's taken his place in that specific sense of as far as helping all of us go up.
Yeah.
So with no one helping us all go up, naturally.
But you mentioned that there's no camaraderie. Like, there isn't that much camaraderie as there was before.
Yeah.
It's definitely like everyone's going out for self.
Yeah.
And, you can kind of tell that way, right? A little bit on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's just kind of like, doing their own thing. And if the DJ that's next to me isn't helping me, build my brand,
Yeah.
I'm not going to market the DJ who's next to me. Does
everyone
that make
wants to be
sense?
the
I think
superstar.
Tina might be onto something with the union though, because that's what sports organizations do. They have a union, and that's how these players keep steadily getting more money over the years.
But the thing is, if it's going to limit anybody's money from going up or getting more, they're not going to be a part of it.
I don't think it would limit it from going up. It just limits it from dropping below a certain level.
Yeah.
It sets the bottom minimum.
Yeah.
But if that was to happen, wouldn't it be hard to fire that DJ if they wasn't happy with them? Because they were the union.
They just have to have a
And-
good reason.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't do that, though, because we're independent contractors, right? Bartenders are actually W-2s.
Exactly, yeah.
They're employees. That's the only trick. That's the only shit.
It wasn't
then
my idea, by the way.
I know.
Listen,
Revolution.
Tina.
No, but and Vegas I think Vegas is the only city where you can fire somebody for no reason. Like, you don't need
Like a zero tolerance.
tolerance. Yeah, you can fire somebody for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
That's
not
what,
union, right?
They don't give a fuck. They can fire you for any reason.
I heard union, though.
Yeah,
they
union
can't
bartenders
fire.
is hard, but like
Yeah.
independent contractors, they can fire any
Yeah.
fucking body for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like welcome to our world. It's always
Yeah.
been that way for
Yeah.
us. Like someone was talking about, a group of people were talking about PTO, and I'm like, what's PTO?
Yeah.
And they're like, paid time off. I'm like, whoa, that's just like,
That's
I literally
foreign.
had no idea. It's just not in our world of what we do. I've
Yeah.
never had paid time off from anything in my life.
I thought that was an STD.
PTO.
Hey, you spoke about going on sabbatical, or you went, where'd you go? For a year.
It wasn't a sabbatical. It was a thing
By the
called,
way, whenever someone says they're going on sabbatical, it means they're going to jail, right?
The times I heard,
Or
yeah.
hiatus.
Sabbatical.
All about
Sabbatical is
everyone
going
I
to
know
jail.
that says I'm gonna go to sabbatical for like a year, that means they're going to jail for like a year.
My old accountant said that before he was going to sabbatical.
I'm going to
but
sabbatical to Africa.
Damn.
He went to jail for
Yeah,
that.
he went to jail. Rest in peace. Actually,
I
he
know,
just
yeah.
passed away a few years ago.
no, I was actually just swiping on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I saw this video of a guy doing a backwards swan dive in slow motion onto the bed and like chucked his his carry-on in the room, and I just, you guys probably all relate to that. Like, it just seemed like, oh, this is my life. And it said, travel the world, work anywhere, while traveling the world. So I looked into it and said, apply now. So I'm like, well, screw it, I'll just apply. And then it's a thing that you pay for. It's $2,000 a month, and it includes your housing, your travel, a communal workspace, and a host in every city, and like a whole calendar of like activities. And they pair you with a group of 60 people. So I got to travel. So every month we lived in a different country for 12 months, the whole year. So it was a group of 60 people. They came from all over the world, and we traveled together for a year. So I was DJing. I DJed in Myanmar and Cambodia and Thailand, Serbia, a couple spots, and then was just working on camp and managing properties. Other people in the group did like graphic design, computer programmers, whatever they did for work, they just only needed Wi-Fi.
So anybody could do this, or you have to really?
Anyone
What is this
can do
called?
it. It's called Remote Year. You just, like, they don't give you a job. You have to have a job. But then, because it's like if you work remotely as a graphic designer, there's no reason you should have to like go into an office every day. You might as well be in Thailand or Cambodia or wherever, just on Wi-Fi getting your work done. So
And it was $2,000 a month.
yeah, so depending where you live, I saved a lot of money doing it because I couldn't, I canceled my health insurance and I went on global health insurance, which is like $500 for the whole year. Just like all my bills, and then I was Airbnb-ing my house, so I was actually making money, and I couldn't buy anything or go shopping or shopping on Amazon or repair things around the house, so I saved a ton of money. I mean, if you live in New York and what you pay in rent, you'll save money being on Remote Year. My average meal, like in Cambodia and Vietnam, was like $5, for dinner and stuff.
That's pretty.
What was your
amazing.
favorite spot you stayed at?
Vietnam.
The food there is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the food or is it everything in Vietnam?
Like the air quality is probably better.
The food.
The air quality is probably worse.
I liked learning a lot about the war, the Vietnam War, and it was a very interesting place.
It's pretty vague. I mean,
What was the worst place you?
the Philippines.
Didn't go to the Philippines. Maybe only the worst place because I just didn't find that much stuff to do was Sofia, Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Oh. So, what made you want to do this?
Well, at that time, I was not in my residency because when you're in a residency, you're like locked in, right? If you have a weekly residency, you can't really do anything like that. So, Marquis got a new music director, so I got kind of pushed out.
Right.
And then my teenager was moving out, and it just
You're a foster teenager.
yes, it was like this perfect little window where for the first time in a long time I wasn't locked into a residency, and I felt like I should just take this opportunity now because if I get another gig residency, then this isn't going to happen for another few years. So I'm glad I did it. I came back with a whole new perspective on things.
What perspective is that?
Just wanting to do things, enjoy my life more and not work so hard, Because you just never know when you're going to die. You never know when you're going to be still physically able to do, the things you want to do. So I just feel like I want to get everything that I want to do done now before anything happens. So, yeah, I just want to make the most of it now.
Is this before you joined Master of the Mix?
This was way after.
Yeah, I should have mixed with like 2013.
That was a long time ago.
Let's talk about Master of the Mix.
All right. What do you want to know?
Do you regret doing that show?
No, not at all.
Actually, I really enjoyed watching that show.
Shut up, D.
I swear to God.
D,
Dude, shut up.
No, the first
You did
season,
not- you did not
the
enjoy
first
watching
season
that
was
show.
really good.
She was the third season, so you're saying the third season
No.
wasn't good?
I'm saying
was-
like off
she
the
was
back,
the
I started
third
watching it right off the
season.
back.
Well, she was the third season, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the
What's
first? I
season?
thought it was the first.
First season was with I think it was like Chris Carnes.
No, that's the third
It's
season.
the third
So
season?
the first two seasons were on BET. The third season was on
okay.
VH1.
Ah, that's right.
So
I
that,
got
okay.
confused.
So I'm thinking the third is the first. So,
Yeah.
It was the first season on VH1.
VH1, yeah.
And it's been canceled now because we all did such a great job.
Look at her.
They canceled it immediately.
Was Lisa Pippen on that one as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What made you want to do this? Do it.
Well, honestly, I I saw it as an opportunity to promote Camp Spinoff. Because I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm going to be on national television. Like, you can't even pay for that kind of advertising
Marketing.
to be on national television for like an hour every week. So that was like my whole intention. But later I realized that because it's sponsored by Smirnoff, they won't air you talking about anything having to do with kids. So I was like, well, that goes out the window. Yeah. But I got a ton of recognition from the show, and people still, parents watch it, people watch it, and I got it. I rode that wave for a good couple years. It was a trip because you get done DJing, and then there's just like a line of people waiting to take photos. Like if you're on TV, people just want a photo with you.
And you moved to New York for like a year, right?
For 4 months.
4 months. Cause I remember when you moved, everybody was like, "Yo, T, she moved to New York to DJ out there." You didn't tell anybody that she was doing the show, but it was like.
Oh, at that time, I moved there back then for like 4 months, just for fun. I love New York, but it doesn't make sense for me to live there like full time. Yeah. So I moved there then, and then I also lived there for another 4 months recently before I came back to Vegas.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Did you enjoy that shit? It was hard to watch.
Well, there's a lot of things about the show that people don't understand. So we could only play music from a certain label that was cleared for TV, that they had paid for the rights to. So if you had like routines, which most of us do, your go-to whatevers, you could pretty much throw that out the window, and you had to create something new. And then they would only let you practice on equipment for 10 minutes, and they would time you. So you have to put together a whole new set that you're about to perform on national television, and you have 10 minutes to practice it on turntables. Wow. And it's with like music that you, like you're looking at the list, just struggling to find stuff. It was. And then the first day of the audition, this was right when the Rain 62 first came out. Yeah. So not many people had even used it. We didn't even have access to use it. So that's what they had us audition on that first day when they cut like 30 people. Yeah. Because you had DJs like DJ ID, who's an amazing battle DJ, and like we were all trying to figure out the mixer. They put things in different places, and they wouldn't let you see it before you actually had to use it. So it was a little stressful. Actually, it was very stressful, and they made some people look bad. They made ID look bad, but he's an amazing DJ. So.
Who was the judges? Wasn't it Kid Capri?
Kid Capri, Mia Moretti, and then some like record label guy.
Yeah, I remember they were like one of the judges who was like a chick. They were just like,
that's what I'm trying to think about. Yeah,
Mia Moretti.
Yeah,
she's a DJ.
Is she though?
Is she though?
Is she though?
She DJs.
Really? Where?
I think she does a lot of corporate types of, she DJs with a violinist.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
That's not like.
Shut up, crooked. Fuck.
Was Irie a guest?
Fucking horrific. Wait.
Irie was a guest. I think Lil Jon was a guest.
Hell yeah! Can we rewind back to you saying that she DJs with a violinist? Yes. That's what she does.
Yeah,
that's her thing.
Well, no, I don't know her really, really well, but she's definitely has her hands in like fashion and, like her Instagram. She's in travel, fashion.
So she wasn't a known DJ.
She was a known DJ, yeah.
No, she wasn't.
But did she?
No, I've never heard of her.
Yeah, I don't know.
She wasn't known. Yeah.
But she was known enough for them to
she wasn't.
Have her as a judge.
No, she wasn't. I don't know what she did to get that.
She was a nice judge. Kid Capri was really mean, like super mean. But the plus side of that was when he actually did give you props, which for me was only like one time. Then it felt great because you knew that he wasn't ever going to say.
But you were kind of like a shit starter on that show, no?
I don't think I was.
You were like talking shit, no? You had like an attitude.
I can't really remember a time where I was talking shit to anyone.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there.
I definitely butted heads with people, but
It's a competitive nature.
It was really competitive, and we were running on super low sleep. Just everything was. They did that on purpose to kind of get you in this bad mood. Yeah. Like at one point, I really feel like it was like Hunger Games. Like there's people up above like pulling little strings. Like we're gonna do this to you, which will make you react that way. So at one point, they took everybody's laptops. So we all know how that'll instantly give you anxiety when they take it. Why? Why? What are you going to do with it? They took everyone's laptops with no explanation. And then when they gave them all back and they said, you guys can all go practice now for tonight. Sorry, Tina, we can't find yours.
What?
Wow.
So what you had to do? I mean, you had to use somebody else's laptop?
I mean, I just sat there pissed off and stressed out while everybody else was like off practicing. I just was sitting there like, this is so wrong, and like there's nothing I can do, and then they gave it back later. But though, to me, those are the little things they might be doing on purpose just to
fuck
Get a
with you.
reaction.
Yeah.
What place did you come in? I forgot.
I got voted off when I was like 6th, when there were like 6 people left. So it was okay. I mean, I definitely
JCO won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to get as far as I could just to get the most exposure, but there was a point where I was literally just starting to like lose my mind, and I was ready. By the time I got voted off, I was ready to go.
You're like, fuck yeah.
And then they brought me back to like do an extra like battle against Fly Guy, and then the record label exec guy, who doesn't even know what juggling is, voted me off.
Well, fuck that guy.
Did he say something about your juggling?
So what was that?
And who was that?
What was it?
Who was the guy?
Oh, I think I don't know his last name. Ben something. I'm not sure.
It's so crazy who they pick for judges.
I know, yeah.
They could have picked so many people.
Mm-hmm.
They could have picked like
it.
Flash.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
had
sick.
they had guests come in, like they had Cut Chemist come in.
Wasn't Scratch a judge? Maybe in season 1 and 2.
In season 1 and 2, yeah.
Okay.
I just remember when they
Even
did
like
Irie.
Spinderella.
Yeah, Spinderella would have been dope.
Like Spinderella, Kid Capri, and like
Jazzy Joyce.
yeah, but even put like maybe a house DJ in there
Yeah.
somewhere. Like I don't know, like Frankie Knuckles. I don't know.
No, I don't know about the house DJ, man.
You need an EDM representation there. You
They
need
had
something,
EC
you know?
Twins. That was actually the night I got voted off. They brought EC Twins there
my
to
God.
do like the EDM challenge.
Why
So-
was Amber Rose a fucking judge?
That's who I was thinking about. There was like somebody that shouldn't have been.
That was during
on
the BET, yeah, not on mine.
Ben Madai can go suck a dick. I'm just gonna put that out
It's
there.
crazy.
So what? They had the EC10. Oh,
So
EC
EC Twins
come on?
came to do the EDM challenge, and so they teamed us up because it's like EC. So I admit my strategy was wrong, but in my opinion, when I think of like a EDM set with 2 DJs, I don't feel like they're really. A lot of it is just like hype and crowd hype and like all that, because
Right.
that's what we see 2 EDM DJs doing. So I was like really big on just not being super technical and being much more about the energy and like that whole thing. So then we got voted off.
Oh shit.
But honestly, I don't know. A lot to me, like the whole dual EDM 2 DJ set is just kind of like a joke. Like I didn't take it very seriously because
yeah.
I don't know. So
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Where are the EC Twins now? Are they still killing it?
I don't.
I think they're still working.
Not in Vegas.
It's funny
at
how
least.
a lot of those EDM like duos, they're
Yeah.
like a rap.
just didn't last.
Like they had
Yeah.
their run with Tao Group.
Who's the guy the duos that like ate bananas and shit?
Dada.
Dada.
Dada
It's like
Life.
one,
Life.
it's like one guy now.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, that's the brothers that one of them passed away, right?
No, that
No.
was someone else.
Oh,
I thought it was either EC Twins or
Not EC
Dada.
Twins.
No. It wasn't even one of those guys.
All right.
yeah. No, I know. Yeah, it wasn't.
Anyway, Master Mix. I mean, that was I can't front. Like it was hard to watch.
Yeah,
I
well, see,
enjoyed it.
here's
I don't
the-
think you should have done that show.
I mean,
But she
I
did it
like-
for good
No, I know you
reasons.
did it for a good reason.
and I got I got exposure to a lot of new people that were fans. Like it felt great to have like just different people, random people at gigs, and just all the different people that watched it was worth it.
See, I would hate that.
Did you get paid for the show? Or
No,
But like I said, that
Okay,
that
they
kind
don't
of
get paid.
a bot to
You didn't get
Smirnoff?
paid?
They don't
No.
get paid.
but that kind
Conflict.
She
Where
made
were
up for
you?
life.
Conflict. Someone get him on the phone, Christian.
Conflict should have.
Yeah.
You should have let Conflict know.
Yeah, manage that
We would
one.
have started a GoFundMe for y'all.
Yeah, I'm like y'all didn't get paid. I love
I can't remember
conflict.
what
You
you
like
said. What did you
read
just-
it.
Oh, so they take these video editors, right? You would do like a 3-minute set, and then they edit it down to 30 seconds. And their video editors are not DJs, so they don't know how to make it sound right. So what you're watching on the TV, of course, it's very hard to watch. It was even harder for the people who did a 3-minute set, and then it took completely out of context and got chopped into 30 seconds. Like, it made us look horrible. And then all the hard work that we put into those sets, they were just completely botched. Yeah. And then I'm on Twitter while it's airing, and I'm like live tweeting with people, and they're like, this chick fucking sucks. And like all I can do is retweet it and be like, I know, she's the worst.
She's
like,
the worst.
I
Fuck
just
her.
keep retweeting all the shit talking, because it was like the only, I mean, there's just so much. But I think it's good, because when you get to like that international, when you get to that national exposure, that's what it's going to be. And that means you're reaching the masses. So.
I just think anytime you do anything and you put it in the hands of people who don't know anything about it, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And I just thought that's what the whole show was. It was like literally like, oh, let's do something like Flavor of Love, but let's do like a DJ version and let's see how this does.
But you felt that way when they first announced it?
Yeah, I thought it was a
I
horrible
feel like when they
idea.
first announced it, I was thinking, damn, this is going to be kind of dope.
Yeah.
Because they had like Kid Capri,
Till I saw
Scratch
the-
involved.
yeah.
It was like,
Nah, I
Till
thought
I saw
didn't
the
even care
judges.
about
I was
it.
like,
it was
oh,
on
idea.
BET at the time.
Yeah.
So
I was torn when at first. I would talk to Scene about it a lot, because he was thinking about it. He ended up not doing it, and we would talk about the pros and the cons. And I'm like, I don't know. They could make me look really bad. I mean, they kind of,
They kind of did.
Asian.
It's okay, Tina.
But I just kind of had to weigh that out and say, I don't know, like this could be huge exposure, and yeah, they probably will make me look bad, but there's also the other side. And I got into a ton of clubs for years that wouldn't have booked me otherwise, and met a lot of people.
I
So
think it was the ups.
yeah.
I just saw it as like a sense of pride that there was a show for DJs. So I never even looked at it as if it was good or bad, I guess.
Really?
I was just excited to see DJs
I
on
thought it was
TV
like the
doing
lowest
things.
form that could represent DJing to me. Yeah.
I think I was just so happy.
I mean,
like,
big shout to the people that who like. I mean, I'm not shitting on anyone
Yeah.
who made a
Cool
living off of
one.
that. Like JCO, is a good dude, great DJ. I'm glad he won.
He should have won.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was going to win the entire time.
And I'm not trying to like downplay his win at all.
Discredited.
I just discredit or downplay or whatever the fuck. I just think a show like that was horrific to me.
Especially the judges. Come on, man. Like just choosing those judges was
you
crazy.
said Kid Capri's a bad judge?
No, Amber
The other
Rose.
two, though.
All the other ones besides
Maybe Mia,
Kid Capri.
Mia Murata? Is that
I
what
don't know.
Mia Moretti.
Moretti, you can't even see. They call him Flash.
Sounds like a fucking district attorney over there.
It sound like a
Mia Moretti.
Yeah.
to
Attorney at
stand,
law.
please.
Hey yo, you have you got a birthday coming up, right?
Yes. March 31st.
March 31st. And you're doing it at Circus.
No, I'm not doing it at Circus.
Actually,
But
that's what I thought it was, Circus.
it is a
It's a circus.
circus-themed birthday party, and it's
Okay.
going to be at...
Of course it's a circus-themed birthday party. Why wouldn't it be anything else but a circus?
I mean, who
themed
doesn't
birthday
love
party?
a circus?
You're so out the box. You're so outgoing.
I try, I just try and stay
It's
weird.
scary.
It's
The thing
not.
she does is scary.
I mean, a little bit, because some of the things
Like
were
going
giving
on
me anxiety.
sabbatical for a year.
That would have given me anxiety like a motherfucker.
I don't care what she
Becoming the
says.
foster mother?
I don't care
to
what-
four different
That was
kids?
kind of cool. I don't
I don't care what Tina. I don't care what you said. You went on sabbatical. That's sabbatical.
Okay, I went on sabbatical.
He went on sabbatical for a year. So what is this? You got a bunch of Circus Soleil people here?
So,
Come on, man.
this new spot is called Las Vegas Circus Center, and they just opened up by my house. So I was driving by, and then I just decided to try out flying trapeze.
Yeah.
Now I'm hooked, and now I go twice a week for like the last few months.
Wait, now you're doing trapeze?
Yeah,
Flying trapeze.
flying trapeze. That's my
Damn.
new thing. It's almost like it's like my outlet. Like when DJing was our outlet, right? But once DJing becomes a career,
Yeah.
then you have to find an outlet to your outlet.
So now it's
Yeah.
trapeze.
So now it's trapeze, yeah. So I'm excited to share with all my friends
Is
on my
this
birthday.
real? Are you serious?
I swear to God. And it's a fundraiser. So all the tickets are going to be, ticket proceeds will be donated to Camp Spinoff.
Hey.
So come do the flying trapeze, do the Ninja Warrior course, silks, and do it for a good cause.
I wash that
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yo, I
Explain
think-
Camp Spinoff.
Huh?
Explain Camp Spinoff. We haven't really gone into this.
I know we've been talking about it all the time with no explanation.
I know.
So Camp Spinoff is a sleepaway summer camp for teenagers ages 13 to 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you were saying like, oh, these little kids. But no, they're like young adults, and they're super passionate about DJing and becoming producers. So at camp, They stay there for a week. They have camp counselors who are all professional DJs.
How many weeks is it?
It's just 1 week.
It's just 1 week
Yeah.
for the whole year.
Yeah.
Summer.
So just once a week a year.
Yeah.
And it's here in Vegas,
No, it's in Ojai, California.
Ojai, California.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
because you've had like Z-Trip.
Yeah, Z-Trip was an instructor the last 2 years. He's amazing. He really pushed the open format. Like he just blew the kids' minds open because they show up and they're like, I'm a dubstep DJ, I'm a hip hop DJ, and he opens camp with just a sick routine mixing metal and everything. And then in his class, he puts them in groups and challenges them with, your group's gonna do a reggae festival, your group's doing a metal show, you're doing a Christmas party, you're doing a Halloween party. They have to go find the music and put the set together. And so whatever they thought they came in with these predisposed notions of their genre, they like, you know.
So,
This is great.
Seems like
so Z-Trip
fun.
does this for like no pay.
Everybody there's a volunteer, including
Volunteer.
me. Yeah.
They just get their bunk bed paid for and the flight over there, pretty much.
Their food and their housing and food is paid for.
Okay.
So we have other like guests who come and speak, like Mixmaster Mike's been there, Spinderella,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so dope.
Samantha Ronson, Riz,
Mhm.
other people like Dynamics, Incrediboy, Scene's been there, a bunch of people. And then this year, DJ Scribble is going to be teaching a class.
That's dope.
And Scratch DJ Academy also teaches the DJ like 101 on turntables, and then they rotate through an Ableton music production class and like controllers, Pioneer controllers,
So what is it? It's it Sunday through Saturday, or how's it?
Sunday through Friday.
Sunday through Friday?
Yeah, so because DJs want their Fridays and Saturdays, and
Right,
since
right.
it's a big ask already, but we want to make sure we don't have people,
Yeah.
So it's like in the woods, like.
So that was the whole concept. Is like I went to camp as a kid,
Mhm.
and I love DJing, so I kind of just wanted to put the two together that hadn't really been done that way.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a week of just sober, clean fun
Yeah.
with the kids, and yeah, we do s'mores.
Why were you laughing when you said sober?
Just 'cause I think earlier we were
Hardcore.
talking about like drinking and stuff.
You guys don't drink like when the kids
No.
go to sleep?
We have a zero tolerance policy at camp for anything.
So if I
Vape pens.
if I got caught in the bathroom shooting up, you guys would send me home.
Shooting
Yes.
up, taking a shot,
Shooting up or shooting a shot?
shooting shot. You get a shot in. Don't come on.
No, zero. I mean, we even will we have a thing that the parents and the kids
So if like me and
sign.
Z-Trip were doing coke in the bathroom,
Yo,
we'd get kicked
stop.
out.
You'd be 86.
Even
Dude, they
smoking,
will shoot you.
even smoking weed.
You can't smoke weed. You can't. Nothing.
You can start a forest fire. Come on, never. You know
Kids
that.
are stressful though. You might need a little hit.
But that's the fun part. Is
So you
like
give 'em fruit
you
rollers.
get a nice clean week of fun.
Nice.
So you don't have no like wild animals and.
No, we do. There's horses. We do archery. We go hiking. We have pool parties.
No, I'm saying you having like wild animals like bears in the woods and.
No.
You're
no.
scared, huh?
Hell yeah,
City boy.
that's right, man. Bears
City
and
boy.
We've had like
crazy
yeah,
men with
There's.
hacksaws.
What the fuck are you?
I saw a tarantula in the bathroom, like right behind this on the wall. There's a huge tarantula one time,
Shit.
and we spent like
See?
hours screaming while someone came and caught it
Oh shit.
and relocated it.
Have any of the kids you work with kind of like flourished within DJing or like
Yes,
that you follow or?
So at my birthday, 2 of our campers will be spinning. DJ Jiggy J lives here in Vegas, and Micah Paul is coming from Arizona. They're both campers.
I actually met Micah Paul in the at the Beyond the Music retreat.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh wow.
And Vice actually has him DJ some events for him. I think he had like Vice on Ice or whatever during the winter.
Oh, I met that kid too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's pretty nasty. He's probably gonna be a name to remember. Micah Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
Mhm.
So these kids that you guys have there, they're pretty much some of them are just like really green, or a lot of them are into DJing already, or you get a mix of everything.
We get a mix of everything, but I would say majority of them are green. Like, yeah. And we have, so about at least half of the camp are there on scholarships.
Whoa.
So
How many kids is it altogether?
50.
50 kids.
So we cap it at 50 because we want exactly the right amount of equipment so that there's not like people waiting for
Right.
equipment. Like every classroom, they each have their own setup. And
So
and-
half of those kids are on scholarship.
Yes.
How do you earn a scholarship?
They
grades?
apply for it. No, they apply online. It's kind of essay-like, so we ask them questions like, why do you want to be a DJ? Who's inspired you? Are your parents involved? And we just try and get a big scope of, and then for some people, they can attach, if they are on government assistance or financial need, they can attach things like that, and we take it all into consideration for scholarships.
That's dope.
Yeah, so when you talk about my money laundering or my pyramid scheme.
I'm not going to lie, Tina, because we all talk about this camp spinoff. Like when it starts going on in the year, you know, when like the gram starts going crazy about camp spinoff.
Like, yo, Tina got to be rich.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just like, yo.
Tina must have a dope car.
What is she charging?
What's she pushing?
I think at
Mercedes.
one point I was in a group chat and I forgot what you guys charged. And I was literally adding. I was like, well, nah, if they get like 200 kids, yeah, she's making some paper. And like, you know, like we were breaking it all down.
Yeah, the cost of one kid is about $1,500 if a kid pays for it. But if you look at like any other
'Cause we
specialized
thought-
summer camp, they're like in that range.
Yeah.
Because we're assholes. We thought you were literally making money from this 1 week and living off of it for the whole
For the
year.
whole year, right?
So honestly,
Wait, how much of an asshole are we that that not only
yeah.
are we talking about this, but we're telling you this to your face?
well, I'm glad.
This is what we think.
I'm glad I could come on and straighten this up.
I'm
I'm
not
with you,
even
Tina.
joking.
I'm with
we
you.
all think like I'm telling you, we all think you're living off of camp
Yeah.
spinoff throughout the year.
Taking a whole year for sabbatical and shit.
yeah.
No, I'm living off real estate. But when I first started the camp, I just started it, and it was like not a nonprofit or anything. I was like, I just want to do it, and that was easier for me to just do it. But then maybe like 6 years ago, I turned it into a nonprofit, like a 501c3, because that way I could try and get grants or other things, but grants are really hard to get. So we just do fundraising, and we try and get sponsors.
So you still need fundraising to pay for the 20 to 25 kids who are on scholarship, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean, the kids that pay kind of offset some of it, but we're always trying to do, more scholarships. So
Can the kids come back like every year? Or you
On a
kind of have
s-
like a one shot, that's it?
we do a scholarship for 2 return campers,
Oh.
but we just do it for 2. So I'd like to do more, like increase our numbers, but honestly, for me, it's about quality over quantity. I like to leave camp and feel like I got to know everyone. I know their names. I can
Right.
keep in touch with them. If it gets to like 100 or more, I think the experience will change.
Do you get a lot of kids applying for camp spinoff?
Not as many as I want, which is why I still have to really go out of my way to like, there's a lot of people out there that just still have no idea what it is. And yeah, we don't have the money for like marketing, except for like Facebook ads, but PR and stuff like that, we just can't afford it. So stuff
mean-
like this where I get to come.
Sounds like a good cause. I mean,
Yeah, no, yeah. See, now you feel like an asshole.
I know, I do feel
All
like an
those
asshole.
group chats.
I'm not joking, man.
I
I
can't
literally
believe
thought
people
she was
thought
living
that.
off of it.
Really?
you're
You think I
pimping
would
A
these
couple
do
of
kids,
people
yeah.
thought that.
Pimping
Yeah.
these,
That was the general.
Shut up,
consensus.
crooked. Pimping these kids. Come on.
Some Firefest shit like
Fire, yeah, just feeding them with bologna.
yeah, bologna on bread and shit.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, so
You also spoke about people can make a donation, right? DJs can make a donation.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of ways that more DJs could get involved. I feel like it just should really, a lot of DJs I know just don't have something that they're involved in charity-wise, and so I'm like, how can I get more DJs to support? So we created a Play It Forward club where you can make a donation of $100, and then there's a spot on the website where we have all the DJs' logos, and we can kind of give them shout-outs through our socials, but really it's just, my goal is for one day be able to go to that page and see like 100 DJs logos and really see like, wow, this is the DJ community supporting.
okay, so we're gonna push this on our socials for you. Now that we know you're not
It's not a
pocketing this
scam.
money.
What's the
Thank
website?
you.
What is it again?
It's campspinoff.com.
Campspinoff.com.
All right,
You can
so-
make a donation on the website.
And that's where
Yeah.
you get your logo. You see?
Yeah, so we're gonna push. We're gonna try to make this happen. We're gonna push for it. Let's
Yeah,
try to raise at least, I
exactly.
don't know, like what?
I think we could do
What's $100 a DJ?
Yeah.
I mean, let's try to hit like what?
2
5 G's?
If we could do 5 Gs, that'd be insane.
I want
We'll get 5 G's.
I think we could do 5 Gs.
Yeah?
And get your logo on the website.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Let's
it's
try
about
to
a
hit
good
5
cause.
G's. $100?
It's not bad.
What if I don't want a year-long membership?
Well, that's a monthly.
Can I do half a year membership?
Or is it monthly or yearly?
It's just yearly.
Oh, yearly. Okay.
Yeah.
I want a half year, maybe. $50. Can I do
You want to try and
$50?
split it with someone?
Can you create
I go
a 50?
50,
Can you do 50?
50-50?
And then we can split our logo in half and then put it together. I think we got
Yeah.
it. You done?
So wait, our logos show up at Can't Spinoff?
They show up on the website under the Play It Forward Club.
Oh, see,
So
like you
there's
gotta
a-
get our logos actually on like a banner or a
Yeah.
flag.
Next to like all the cool fucking ones you have.
Yeah,
up
have like
there.
a Camp Spinoff flag with everyone's logo.
We used to do the R.O.A.D podcast logo. That's 25 each. We good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's even better. I like that. $25 each. Yeah.
That's a meal.
We actually have we got 10 DJs who jumped on, who are like the founders of the club. So it literally just started this year in November. So any
I mean,
help,
let's push for it. Let's push for some of these
When
kids
is
to get
when
there.
does a camp spinoff start?
It's June 9th through the 14th.
Okay, so
Oh,
we
so
have
around the
about
corner.
4 months. Well, I'm counting wrong.
4
3
months.
months. 3 months.
I'm trying to think what I could teach a kid in DJing, and I don't
The
think there is anything.
I think that
I
you
can
would be
teach them.
great to teach them the business side,
Huh?
the business side of DJing.
I can prepare them for like the
Marketing.
nightclubs. I can
Yeah.
be the dude yelling at them from behind.
If you guys really want to, you can come do a podcast at camp. But you'd have to keep everything clean.
Oh, that's in shit.
I don't know.
This sounds like shit. Oh fuck! And you can't drink. Oh, this guy will be
No
out the
drinking,
first day.
no cussing.
No 1942.
I'm not, I'm not first of all, I'm
70.
not an alcoholic. Okay, I'm not an alcoholic.
You just.
Prove it.
Oh no!
But I wouldn't mind doing a little coke in the bathroom.
No,
It's like a Camp Spinoff.
stop.
A couple of bumps.
And you have to pass a background check.
I don't
so-
I don't
You gotta pass a background check. I think
I
we're
don't
all
even
cool.
do I don't even do coke, but I would want to do coke at
Just to
Camp
get the
Spinoff.
86.
Like I would want to Instagram myself doing coke at Camp Spinoff.
And then all Instagram, the cops arresting you.
Yo, Camp Spinoff is this shit. All right, so we're gonna push for this. We're gonna try to hit 5Gs. Let's hit 5Gs.
Let's try to get a GoFundMe.
Yeah,
You get
and
that
then you
going.
know what? All you DJs with kids seems like a safe environment, from what I can tell.
now you can
So
tell.
like, if you have kids and you don't want to fucking see them for a week, and you're around what 13 and 17.
13 to 17, boys
You-
and girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, this will be a good thing for your kids and shit. So put them through that motherfucker. Or whatever. It's like the worst. If you don't want to see your kids for a week
know,
and
right?
shit, you know,
Send them to Tennessee
$1,500. Is it
Send them
$1,500
to
for the
Camp
week?
Spinoff.
yeah,
Is
it's
it
right up.
$1,500 for a week?
It's
15.
yes, and for families that want to apply for a scholarship, anyone can apply for a scholarship.
If I want my kid to have a better meal than the other kid, can I pay $2,000?
No, but you can send them a care package.
Special
Oh, you
privilege.
do a care package like.
Yeah.
No. Do you give like those little like
What if I
chocolate
want-
milks, like the ones from school with the little?
We do with cereal, yes.
What if I want my kid to have his own cabin?
Damn, that's privilege, man.
I don't want to mingle
What would
with
be
those
the
kids.
reason?
Huh?
What would be the reason?
Just to
if it was a
make
legit-
everyone feel like shit.
Then
like
no.
other kids? No, okay.
I mean, we get kids with, we get kids who have sleepwalking or different,
Oh, yeah?
all kinds of different things, and we try to accommodate every type of
Sleepwalking.
disability or, autism, anything, we try and accommodate it.
And for the people that don't know where Ojai, California is at, it's right outside of Ventura. Just because I didn't know.
Oh, thanks for that information.
just so you
Hey, I
drive
was
up
just
there.
wondering.
Yeah, you
I was
just-
wondering all day.
So
where
you
the
have your
fucking was.
counselors ready for this year, or you still looking for counselors?
We have counselors for this year, but there's a spot on the website where you can fill out a volunteer application because I'm always trying to staff ahead of time for next year.
I have nothing to teach these kids.
Yes,
so
you
I'm not gonna
do.
do it. I have nothing to teach these kids.
Well, honestly, I think kids would be even interested about learning how do they start their own podcast because those are things that they could easily do and they don't know how to do it, and someone like you could show them how.
I don't want
We're still
to.
trying to figure it out.
we haven't even figured this.
I know,
We
we
just
still
launched a
working on this
YouTube.
shit.
Yeah.
And the shit, we launched a YouTube and it was 12 hours late. So
Yeah,
It
YouTube.com.
wasn't good.
I mean, they
So
learn about
I'm not
music
blaming you,
business.
Pete.
I was like, yo, fuck you.
By the way,
Go ahead.
speaking of our YouTube, I have to plug this. We're putting a lot of work into this YouTube channel.
Shouts to P. Dot.
Shout to P. Dot. He's helping us put the video together and edit it. So every Friday, you're going to see the new episode from our audio on Wednesday.
Yes.
I'm fucking this up already, right?
I know you're doing a
So
good job. Go
every
ahead.
Wednesday we drop our audio on like Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify.
Uh-huh.
That same episode will show up in video form on Friday
Yes.
on the YouTube channel.
You're
Yes,
doing
Yes.
great, honey. Just
Okay,
keep going.
cool. Anyway, every Friday, every Wednesday, new episodes, and I think
Audio Wednesday, video Friday.
yeah. So then I think we're gonna do a throwback episode
on
once or
Mondays.
twice a month
On Mondays.
on Mondays. So on Mondays, I think we have Scratch Bastard lined up for this Monday. Yeah, P Dot, you're on it, right? Yeah. Hello. Yes. Okay.
So make sure you subscribe, you like and comment all the shit on YouTube, and you also click on the little bell just so you get notified as soon as one of our videos gets uploaded, because sometimes YouTube will wash the shit and not show you the cool content we're putting up there. So
I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah.
yes, do what I just said. Don't
So,
listen.
so this Friday you're gonna see the Tina T
Episode.
on YouTube, and then on Monday you're gonna see Scratch Bastard.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to do a throwback one.
Twice a month.
Once a month.
Okay, let's try.
If we could do twice a month, then that'd be great.
Why can't we do every week?
It's
Okay.
a lot of work,
You don't know
motherfucker. You know?
I'm asking. I'm just asking.
Peter stayed to 6 a.m. the other
just
day
asking.
working on this fucking video. It was a lot of shit.
The problem is that Darren and Neva have nothing to do with any of the video or audio.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
So
I'm curious to find out why.
can't y'all do this shit
What's
twice
up
a
with
week?
every- yeah,
So of
what's
course,
up
of course you're gonna ask that shit. Yeah. Of course you're gonna ask
It's been
that.
stressful.
Yeah.
Shit. No, it's been a lot of work just because the episodes are like 3 hours long.
Well, that episode, the last one, shout out to everybody that listened to it and gave us
that
a
was
lot of feedback.
work. Yeah,
Well, that was a lot of work.
that wasn't easy too. Hey, yo, shout out to Shecky too for coming through on.
Shecky, Rock the Con, A-Track. all the
Tina,
feedback.
Tina, back to you. I know we're all over the place.
That's cool.
Is there anything else you want to touch on, or
You want to
Pause.
promote your Instagram maybe or
Oh,
Camp
yeah.
Spinoff's Instagram?
You can find me online as DJ Tina T on Instagram, Twitter, websites djtinat.com. Camp Spinoff, the same thing. Camp Spinoff, Instagram, website, all
it's
that.
legit? It's legit.
Legit.
Guys.
We
Yeah.
finally confirmed, guys, after all the speculations and group
The
chats.
truth is out. It's legit.
At
From
Camp
what we
Spinoff.
know.
What are you driving anyway nowadays?
I have a
Tesla.
I actually I have a
you have a-
1968 Volkswagen Baja Bug.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so dope.
So I take it to car shows. Being back in Vegas, that's another one of the things I kind of had to. It's been in the garage forever while I was traveling the whole time. So now that I'm back, I'm taking it to shows and hanging out with different car clubs and
Yeah, I
doing
remember
a
you
lot of
posted
work.
something about it a few months ago that
Yeah.
you were like had got some stuff or some work done on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
pretty sick.
I've had it since I was 16. So
Oh,
I was
damn.
worked on it all through Auto Shop in high school. I'm considering putting actually a DJ setup
Wait,
that
you were
comes out of the
working on
front.
it in auto shop?
Mhm.
What does that mean?
So
High school.
In
A
high
class.
school, they have an auto
Auto.
shop class.
So you pimped your own ride?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
They don't have that in New York.
Yeah, I was going to say
Auto
New York
shop.
people don't know about
Yeah, they have it
what
in-
shop class.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was
Auto
dope.
shop.
My first car was a 1970 Beetle. So
That's
Nice.
dope.
yeah, it's pretty dope. Hers is sick though. It's
Real
tricked
quick
out.
before we cut off, Tina T, do you also dabble into production at the Camp Spinoff?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Uh-huh.
She said they have a class on Ableton.
Ableton
a little
classes.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
DJ Seraphin teaches the Ableton class.
Okay.
Mm. Hey Tina, it was really it was a real pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
You know what? I mean, you're like literally a jack of all trades. You're definitely a Renaissance woman. You've got a heart of gold, and I know we've been fucking with you, this whole episode.
Thank you for.
But I think
for
what
the
you're doing is really amazing, and I think it's very, it's taking. I feel like in every step of your career and everywhere you go, you're trying to become more selfless, maybe, especially in such a selfish industry that we are in. And I commend you. We all commend you, and if we can do anything to support anything that you're doing, just let us know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Big shout to Camp Spinoff and the whole foster parent and child thing that you're doing is incredible. And I think
And we cannot wait for Tina T's union to start up.
let's get yeah.
You gotta
DJ
get Revolution on your show. So
Yeah.
he did all the legwork in LA and almost got there, but
I mean, let's try to
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring. It's really inspiring.
It is.
So thank you.
thank you.
For being on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Tina T.